Dating today with all the crazies out there has to be nuts.
Yes, it really would. Wouldn't it be nice if there was a place you could go to find people who think like you do?
Like me, like libertarians and conservatives?
Right?
There is. WeThePeople.dating.
Amazing. What a genius idea. This is a site that you can go to if you're single and you are looking for somebody who you know you're going to think the same way, as for from a political freedom standpoint. If you want to date the right person for you, you'll find them in one place. WeThePeople.dating.
The Adrian Slate Show.
Modern-day witches are planning a public hex on Brett Kavanaugh. Catlin Books, a bookstore in Brooklyn, is holding a ritual to hex Brett Kavanaugh. Brett Kavanaugh will be the focal point, but by no means the only target. So bring your rage and all of your axes you've got to grind, invite reads. Man, I don't know if you have a truck big enough for that. The event's organizer, Dakota Barsali, hosted 3 hexes against Donald Trump last year. Those seem to work out swimmingly. So it's going to be, my pretty, we must make a potion to cast our spell upon the frothy suds that Justice Kavanaugh may consume. Bring me the tears of Trigglypuff and the hair of a third-wave feminist. I think if you stir in a pot, over an open fire, throwing in some tears from Trigglypuff and some hair from a third-wave feminist. Gosh, this is just the dumbest story.
It looks like you're losing.
I am.
Are you losing weight?
I am losing. I've lost about 10 pounds.
How are you doing it?
It's a funny name, but I've done it with Riduzone. RIDUzone.com, and the stuff works. It's, you get into all that, the molecule this and the found in that. All I can tell you is it makes you feel full, and it keeps your mind off of wanting to overeat.
And also boosts your metabolism,
Yes,
so you're
it does.
burning more.
Yeah,
Try it today. It's going to work for you like it's worked for Brad and countless other people. Riduzone.com. RIDUzone.com.
Adjust your mojo now. Thank you. Ship has landed. Doc Thompson. Brad Staggs. The mighty Mojo 50.
Okay, we're 1 week out from the midterm elections, and we have a midterms update.
Oh, good.
We are prepared to share this information now. Republicans lead all Democrats overwhelmingly among the hate-filled racists.
Nice.
So they are leading in that category.
Good.
Meanwhile, Democrats still overwhelmingly lead Republicans amongst likely voters that love puppies.
That's not surprising. Not surprising so
right.
far.
So the Republicans doing well in some categories, the Democrats doing well in some others. For example, in the 18 to 24 nice people demographic, Democrats leading the way, doing very well there.
Well, we kind of saw this coming as we approach the midterm, so these are not horrible surprises, but I think the Republicans still need to get out there and beat some bushes.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, this is according to all major news outlets. Republicans still have a commanding lead in the dumb demographic categories, all of them. So amongst all dumb people, according to major news outlets, Democrats are not doing well, Republicans leading the way.
And again, we saw this coming probably 6-7 months ago in the pre-midterm.
Not shocking.
Not shocking at all. So
I mean, these demographics have been voting this way for years now.
yes,
Right?
yes,
I mean,
yes.
breaking it down a little bit more, according to all major news outlets, Democrats have a strong lead with people who like snow cones, smiles, and people who are good listeners.
Yes, absolutely.
And Republicans still doing well with murderers, the unwashed, and people who drive slow in the left lane.
Yes. These are all very true. And again, bushes need to be beaten.
Yes, that's right. Again, that's according to all major news outlets.
Yes.
So nothing surprising coming up, I don't think, a week from now.
No.
Still count on all of that.
Yeah. Yes.
I saw a headline yesterday. New poll finds. Ready?
Yep. Hold on. Let me hold on to something. Okay.
This is going to shock some people.
I'm
based
sitting
on
down.
what we've been reporting. I mean,
sitting down.
for you people who've been hoping for a red wave or to at least stop the blue wave.
Right.
Been counting on a couple of key races in particular. New poll finds, and this is a headline from Yahoo News, new poll finds Beto O'Rourke within striking distance of Ted Cruz.
Like a snake. Like
But
a cobra.
This is huge. Within striking distance. Now, I saw this headline and was like, whoa, well, hold on. Let me see. This is a Quinnipiac poll within striking distance. And it's just a week to go now.
Would that be with a high-powered rifle strike or with a small caliber handgun?
It's a good question.
Those are two entirely different.
Betta
things.
in striking distance. Let me give you the first line. This was from yesterday with just over a week to go before Election Day. Cruz leads Beto O'Rourke by just 5 points. He only leads him by 5 points, Brad.
Well, there you go. There's
early voting has been going on a while now.
Yeah.
And here we are, just
5.
a week out, and Ted only leads him by 5 points.
By a nickel. Just a nickel.
That's it. I mean,
Just
that's nothing.
Nope.
They go on to point out that it's a surprisingly competitive Senate race.
Where?
In Texas, it's surprisingly competitive. I mean, he's within striking distance, Brad.
Yeah.
What aren't you getting about strike? Like a snake, just get you.
That's only if he has a very high-quality scope.
The Quinnipiac poll, as Yahoo News reports, found that 51% of likely Texas voters back Ted Cruz, compared with 46% who favor O'Rourke. And they point out this is a significant shift compared with an October 11th Quinnipiac poll that found the Republican Center with a 9-point lead.
There's your October surprise right there.
There it is.
5 points.
So back then, 4 more percentage points either didn't support Ted Cruz.
Right.
Now, they may have been undecided because they point out, 51 and 46.
Right.
Still got some undecided there.
Yes.
Now, there is a several point margin of error. So they could point out Ted Cruz still may have 9-point lead. And there is 3-4 whatever percent that is undecided.
Let's talk about these undecided people. What is going to kick them over the edge?
Right. What are they waiting for? They haven't in today's political world decided whether or not they're going to vote for Ted Cruz or Beto O'Rourke. They're like, I'm just trying to find out who supports decorative flowing drapes in dining rooms.
Yes. Which one is bringing back macrame plant hangers?
Whichever one is
the one I'm voting for.
That's it. I will bring back macrame. There's my guy.
Yep.
There he is.
Macrame.
I don't care if he hates Jews or not.
Nope.
Or not. That's what I'm voting for.
As long as he supports macrame, I'm with him.
The economy. Macrame. That's the key.
Well, you see, if you support macrame, that will in turn support the economy. You have to take these things in turn.
Dude, their headline was within striking distance.
Yeah.
It's 5 points.
Yeah.
Do you realize how big 5 points is in an election?
Yes. Especially at this stage of the game. Yes.
5 points is bordering on landslide. Honestly, it really is.
Yes, nowadays
in today's
it
world,
is, yes.
where we're talking about even Senate races in the past elections being decided by recounts, and you're going 5 points. When you get to the 9, you're at landslide.
Yeah. Yeah.
5, but within strike. Yahoo News. Now, that almost seems to me like some bias reporting, like they're trying to, hey, get out because it's so close. Come on, Blues. Get out there. Listen, you're this close. It's within striking. You and a couple of people could put it right over the edge.
Yep.
You could strike Ted Cruz. And who doesn't want to strike Ted Cruz?
Right?
Now, also point out the violent language and imagery, striking distance.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think it is, but based on the Sarah Palin put targeting certain districts.
You can't say target. You can't say target. You can't say strike. Come on.
So I thought that seemed a little biased from the previously respected Yahoo News.
Well, I think 1024th Taint Pro Ricketts Sleeve said it best when he said close only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and liberal news media reporting on faux Hispanic Democrats. I think
nicely done, sir. Yes. Nicely done. Now, I scrolled down to the bottom of the page because I was looking for the details in the story, and I saw read more Yahoo News midterm coverage
from the Onion.
And The Onion now reporting. And it listed links to other midterm, if you click on a story about cheeseburgers, read other food coverage or whatever it is. And they listed 6 things that were clickable that were midterm coverage.
Right.
Can I share with you those headlines now?
Oh, yes.
First one, Trump and Cruz make the best of their forced embrace. That was from last week, remember?
Yeah.
Their forced embrace, pointing out the division within the party. And again, Cruz and Trump specific. Second one, in deep red Missouri, McCaskill pursues voters far off the Democratic beaten path.
One more time.
In deep red pursues. Claire McCaskill pursues voters far off the Democratic beaten path.
Right.
See, it's a deep red state, but Claire McCaskill's out there. She's working hard.
She's beating bushes.
She's pursuing voters off the Democratic beaten path.
Yes.
Standing for all people.
Right. And by the way, can we use another word aside from beaten? Because that's up there with
very violent.
Yes, it's up there with striking and target.
The next headline, in DeSantis' Gillum contest, that's Florida, race is more than a subtext. Remember, because race has been because Gillum is black. DeSantis supposedly by saying let's stop monkeying around was racist, whatever.
Right.
So they're pointing out the racism in the race. Yeah. Well, racism only matters in a race like this if the black candidate's calling the white candidate racist.
Right. It's not a race.
So still, those 3 stories seem very left.
Yeah, they
written.
They do, don't they?
They're going to bring it back with the next 3. Menendez, that would be Robert Menendez, right? Is that New Jersey? Race pits ethical concerns against party loyalty, and loyalty is winning.
Huh. Okay, I see what they did there. Yep. And every time I hear Menendez, I think about the 2 murderous brothers out in California.
It's very close, though.
Yeah.
It's very similar.
Yeah.
The next one, Portrait of a Modern District, New Jersey 11 leans R, but the race leans D.
Wow.
Democrats are winning in there. See that?
Nice.
In that R-leaning district.
Yes.
See? It's within striking distance, Brad.
Yeah.
And then finally, Virginia Republican congressman tries to weather scandal and wave of spending. So a Republican congressman who's in the middle of a scandal.
Scandalous and just bad money.
So
yeah, I'd say they're pretty even-handed in their reporting there at Yahoo.
Yahoo News, when I think of reporting and people you can trust.
Oh, yeah. That's it. First thing I think of is Yahoo. Aren't they purple? Come on.
Oh, that's right. Their logo
purple.
is right. That's a great
purple.
point. They're unbiased
right there in the middle.
Wow, that all seems really, really biased, and people. The frustration is not that they're biased; it's that they won't admit they're biased, and they're lying to people. They're slickering. And it's a search engine which weren't they supposed to change their name? Somebody bought them. Somebody did. Some bought them like a year ago, and they're supposed to change their name or something. Is that they're manipulating people? It's an agenda and it's propaganda. And unfortunately, people don't realize it. They are harsh words. We've seen that from Google. We've seen it all the tech companies out there.
Oh,
that's the reason we keep encouraging people to sign up for MeWe. Please sign up for a MeWe.com account, and that's the reason we're doing more and more with MeWe, especially standing for other companies like Gab to see that they have all targeted Gab now.
Well, a very even-handed company did in fact purchase Yahoo. So Verizon.
Well, there it is.
Yahoo. So
there it is.
Yahoo.
So we've got a lot of work to do. And that's part of the reason we posted a video yesterday as part of our crowdfunding campaign. I really, really, really didn't want to do this because I've gone through this many times about how much I hate asking for help. It's just not who I am. It's not about nobility or being nice, or it's just difficult for me. For whatever the reason, I would rather not have to ask for help. I mean, I guess nobody likes it, but it really, really bothers me.
Yeah, it is hard. And I think, honestly, it's harder for guys to ask for help than it is for women. So what we need in here is a woman.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Women are not afraid to ask for help. Men, on the other hand, we just are afraid to ask for help.
So if you'd like to help us out, this is more about growing quickly. We're going to continue to move forward regardless, and we'll do well. We know that. But once we saw the Gab stuff and we've seen the targeted attacks against conservatives and libertarians in the media over the past couple of weeks, month or so, it's just getting worse and worse. The Gab thing was quite shocking. We explained it all on yesterday's broadcast, but it's not just against social media shadow banning or about social media shadow banning people that they disagree with. This is about tech companies saying, we will shut you down completely. They have the power because they own the servers and they have the domain register. They are the domain registers and technology to just stop you from even having a website, regardless of social media. And if that's the case, we're going to go away eventually. Listen, GoDaddy and others are simply going to look at what we do and go, sorry, we can't have that. We can't support that type of hate. They're able to do what they want. We're not stopping them. We're just not going to allow them to do it with our tech. And unfortunately, all of the tech is from companies who are progressive. Therefore, guess what?
Yep.
We're all going away. So that's part of the reason we knew we had to amp this up and say, we need to grow a lot faster with the ideas and goals we have. Goals that will, as we point out in the next couple of months, allow us to operate independently of most of those companies. That we will build such a broad business that we'll be able to transcend those tech companies out there that are currently targeting Gab and MeWe and me and you and everybody else and stand on our own. And if people like our content, they'll be with us, and if they don't, so be it. That's all we're asking for. It's all we've ever asked for. I mean, I'm not pissed that ABC and CBS and these others are progressive. I don't care. Do what you want. It's that they pretend they're not. They pretend they're unbiased. They lie to people, and then they have the audacity, while pretending to be serious and journalists or whatever, to target me and you and everybody else. That's the problem. So if you would, I humbly ask that you help us out. $5, 10, 10 million, whatever you have.
We prefer the 10 million if you've got it. It'd be simpler. Honestly, it'd be simpler when we write the thank you notes if it just came from one person.
Right, exactly.
So,
that's a good point.
You know, I mean, we don't. Otherwise, your hand gets tired. Right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. What did he send us? Did he give us the gravy boat
right,
or the or the chintz curtains? I don't know. So
yeah.
Anyways, yeah. Please, if you would share the video and ask others to help. There's a little sneak peek in the video of some of the things we're working on, where you get an opportunity to see. So,
and
all right.
And I'm in shorts, which is unusual.
In shorts every day.
Video.
All right, back to the midterm election update. But before we do that, I got to remind you about another way we are making money, and that is via advertising. You've probably noticed, as we promised, that we have cut down our number of advertisers significantly, and we'll continue to develop that as well. So unlike some media outlets, ABC, whoever, that promise you things and it never happens, we tell you things that we likely will do, things that we will definitely do, some things that are long-term goals. We'll see if they get done. But we will continue to develop our format here, and we will get rid of some of the other recorded content very soon. Right now, I think we are at 54 minutes of live talk an hour. Is that right? 53 and a half? 53 and a half.
And only 2 minutes of dead talk.
What do you mean?
Well, the live talk, and we have the dead talk as well.
Our little button fell off here.
See that? And this is precisely why we need your help. That's precisely why we need your money, your help.
Sorry, Ron, I got it. I'll just keep it. Look at this. I'm going to put it right up here, Ron.
Right. It'll sit right there.
So there it is. Okay, good. We need to build a studio, you can see. Anyways, yeah, we're so 53 and a half minutes of live content.
Mm-hmm.
Of that, there are 4 recorded commercials, live commercials.
Right.
Of the 6.5 minutes that is not live, so we can run to the restroom and whatnot, most of that is even content. It's not commercials.
Right.
Because you got a couple minutes of news. You'll notice some commentaries and things we do at the bottom of the hour, but that'll continue to evolve where you get more content and even less commercials.
We're not above getting bedpans in here where we can just,
We'll do it. We'll continue to develop it out. So if you would, please help us out. And you'll notice that we're continuing to do what we say and say what we do.
Yeah. And by the way, Holly Ann over on MeWe said, beating bushes. What did the poor bushes do to her? Herbicidalist. I think we have to really choose our words carefully.
By the way, back to the midterms, and we mentioned Claire McCaskill in Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Remember we played the commercial yesterday? The day, was it Friday? Where she's not one of the crazy Democrats.
Friday. Yes, that was Friday.
She's not one of those. And John, I'm considering voting in this midterm election. John, are you considering voting in this midterm election as well?
No, I am considering voting in the midterm election.
What do you think about Claire McCaskill?
Oh, she operates in the middle. She's not one side or the other. She likes to get things done. And
does she get things done for me?
She does get things done for you.
But
and
isn't
for
she
me.
one of those crazy Democrats?
She's not one of those crazy Democrats.
Here we are. It's 2018. You can't get decent on-air actors.
I remember doing commercials like that in the market 487, where population 200.
Yeah, 40 years ago. On top of that. Hello, John.
Hi. Hey, that's a nice new car you have. Did you get that from Raleigh Chevrolet?
I did. Now let's talk about the midterms. They have no transitional, the believable transition.
No.
Hi, John. Nice day. What about those midterms? John, I couldn't help but notice you've been scratching your nether regions a lot recently. Have you considered gold-bound medicated powder?
Are the crab lice back?
Are they? I thought you stopped picking up whores.
Come on down to Steve's House of Crab Lice Remedies. We're open 8 to 8 today.
What was that store again? I need to write it down. What was that?
It's at
Steve's House.
3 Main Street.
Memories. I'm sorry, John. Can you tell me that address once again? I too have itchy, scratchy crab lice, and Steve needs to help me.
And boy, those midterms.
And those midterms aren't helping my uncomfortable scratching.
Brought to you by Steve's House of Genital Warts.
Hi, I'm Steve. Actually, it's like this. Hi, I'm Steve. The local cable access ones where he's standing out there at the camera, wide-eyed. He looks like Adam Lanza staring at the camera. Hello. Hello, I'm here in front of my building.
Please.
Look, here's my staff. We're all waving at you. Hello. Sorry to say staff on a commercial about Steve's crab remedies be gone. I'm Steve from Steve's Crab Be Gone Shack.
Crab Be Gone. It's the new Crab Be Gone cream.
Sorry, we've just launched a Crab Be Gone ointment now, too. It's much better than the cream. Because I'm sorry to say cream when I mention crabs.
What time are you open today?
Now back to Claire McCaskill. She's not one of those crazy Democrats.
No.
In fact, is it Brett, not Kavanaugh, the guy from Fox News?
Oh, Brett Baer.
That's the one. Mm-hmm. He asked her about the commercial, which is really good. This is forget everything else. This is a really good question to ask. Okay. For all the nutty stuff about, thank you for joining us, person running for office. Can I ask you how you felt about the synagogue shooting in Pittsburgh, the mass murder? Those are the types of questions they ask.
Right.
At least they asked her a good question, and she gave an answer. A good answer?
Of President Trump's judicial nominees. 70%. I voted for more than half of his cabinet members. I vote with him half the time. He signed 38 of my bills into law.
She's promoting actively that she is voting with Trump 70% of the time. Mm-hmm. First of all, I'm calling Bravo Sierra on that one. The doctor's going to need a little more information on that one before I can just take her at her word. But because she voted against Gorsuch and Kavanaugh. I'm pretty sure she voted against both of them.
I can't believe you just don't trust her.
Okay. But she's voting with them 70% of. This is a Democrat who's promoting this at a time when most of them are running a race that is like, Trump! That's their whole campaign slogan.
Right. Yeah.
So, okay, here we go. Ready?
Doesn't sound like to me, somebody who is knee-jerk. Some of my colleagues are knee-jerk against the president. I don't get.
Wait a minute. She's saying some of them are jerks?
Whoa, no, she's saying she's knee-jerk. Some of the
She needs jerks. That is not what we need in office now.
That's not what she's saying.
Some of her colleagues need jerks. They do.
Well, yeah, but she's saying it's more of a
knee-jerk.
Every day figuring out how to fight the president. I get up every day trying to figure out how I can fight for Missourians.
To that point.
Wow, look at that. Thank you. Thank you, Claire. Steve, I just heard Claire gets up every day and doesn't fight. She does not fight the president.
No,
it says so here. She does not. She gets up to fight for us. Missouri.
She fights for us.
For me and you and puppy dogs and people who like snow cones. She does not fight for people who drive slow in the left lane, Steve.
No. She does not.
There's a radio ad out now that says at one point in an exchange, she's not one of these crazy Democrats.
Claire's not afraid to stand up against her own party. Yep, and Claire's not one of those crazy Democrats.
Who's the crazy Democrat?
The crazy Democrats are people who walk in restaurants and scream in elected officials' faces. The crazy Democrats we have a state senator here in Missouri that actually advocated for the assassination of President Trump. That's a crazy Democrat.
Wow, thank you, Claire. Thank you for that.
Do those things.
She is not advocating assassinating the president, and she's not going into restaurants screaming at elected officials, her words.
Oh,
that's
somebody
nice.
Who thinks that we should ever be uncivil. I think what most Missourians want is for us to listen to each other, figure out where we can compromise, not scream in each other's faces.
John, I just heard Claire McCaskill supports civility in elections. That's my kind of, what is she running for? Senator.
I'll vote for her, too.
A free exchange of ideas. Mojo 50.
Hey, guys, it's Ron Phillips with the Conservative Cartel. You know, everyone lives with a little bit of pain, but living with diabetes can be a real pain. While you may have to test your blood sugar and take insulin, ordering your testing supplies shouldn't be one more pain you have to deal with. At least it's not when you work with Diathrive. Diathrive ships the testing supplies you need directly to your home when you need them. Gone are the days of visiting multiple stores to find the right strips, waiting in long lines to purchase your supplies, or sorting through your insurance requirements to figure out what they cover. Best of all, with plans starting as low as $8 a month, Diathrive is probably going to cost you less than what you're paying today. Diathrive saves you time and money. Plus, they're pretty fun to work with, too. So why don't you give Diathrive a chance to show you there's a better way to manage your diabetes? They're so convinced that you'll love their service that they're offering your first month of supplies free. Simply type the code MATT, that's M-A-T-T, at checkout. Be sure to head out to the web right now and check these guys out. It's Diathrive.com.
Hey, it's Doc Thompson. Got the new show on Mojo 50 coming up. Hopefully you'll join us for that. And as a regular feature, my good friend, my life partner, Chef Patrick Mosier. I mean that in a food sort of way.
I would hope so.
Yeah. You'll be joining us on the broadcast as well?
Absolutely. Every day that you ask me to.
Talking food and business and prostitutes, right? Because you're the food biz pro, and that's what the pro's for.
It's all about cocaine and hookers.
It's all about cocaine and hookers until somebody gets arrested. And then it's about the legal system. And well, you get the point. We'll be talking food and food trends and business. And of course, we'll be spotlighting business as I always have on my broadcast. But Chef Patrick Mosier will join us, and he has his own platform starting soon on Spoonie Radio.
Spoonie Radio, 24-hour food talk radio.
Can you really talk about food for 24 hours a day?
I could, but even I don't want to listen to myself talk about food for 24 hours. So we will have
somebody will.
Someone will be on the air 24 hours a day talking food, fun, travel, culture, and more than anything, food.
Wow, you hear how short those breaks are?
Wow, they are the shortest breaks I have ever heard.
They
How
are
about
so
you?
wonderful, though.
Speaking of whores, how about those midterms? You finally hit a believable transition. Thank you, Stinky. Over on Twitter.
Midterm. Oh, is that
Yes.
horse? Because
You have to think back 10 minutes to what we were talking about.
I cannot remember any of that. That's fine. Actually, and I was in the middle of a transition to tell you about Mojo Wild Rice and was like, I completely got sidetracked. I really, seriously, I was. And I looked down and I was like,
Nothing.
Damn it, I remember thinking about doing that. I just didn't actually do it.
Nothing goes with crab lice like wild rice.
Wow, that's probably a really bad transition for them.
They were thinking it, just thought I'd say it.
No, you're right. I'm just thinking that's probably a bad transition. How about we do this, okay? How about we transition after talking about body lice, which rhymes with rice? How about we transition like this, okay? TarRiverArms.com.
Much better.
TarRiverArms.com, where you could get arms. .com. Now, this is a company, it's really cool the way they have revolutionized the purchasing firearms online. And by the way, they are crushing it. Thank you so much. They sent us an email yesterday. So pleased. They've had so much success from advertising here. That's not propaganda. It's absolutely true.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he said that it's taken off for him. And it's not so much us, it's you. People that are everyone that's going to TarRiverArms.com, and the fact that they have such a good concept here. They've got high resolution photos and 3D imaging. So you click on a gun and you could zoom in to see exactly the grain, the texture, everything about it. You could do you got the 3D imaging spinning around?
Yep, I sure do.
Let's see that. There you go. So if you're watching on social, wow,
that I mean, you get right in there. You can see amazing stuff. And you can spin the whole gun around. I mean,
I just realized we need that on all dating sites.
Yeah.
3D imagery.
You know what? No one looks that good this close. Nobody.
No,
There's
I know
no
that.
one on the planet.
You're right. Nobody is going to look that good, but you could take the ones that look the best. You're still going to adjust the scale. But wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
Where you're like,
the trouble is you'd never go out with anybody.
You're like, okay, yeah, let's do. Whoa, okay, swipe.
Species would die off.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't want to. Nobody looks.
Well, that's the quality that they bring to you at TarRiverArms.com. Also, when you purchase firearms online, most of the time you have to, in all cases, you have to have it delivered to somebody with an FFL, a federal firearms license. And then there's a charge for that and shipping. At Tar River Arms, none of that. You don't have to worry about it. They take care of it, and their prices are amazing. Do we have an update? I think they have another special because I think they've
I think it
done really well with the others.
I think it's the Glock, the pistol range package.
Do you have the pistol range package?
Yeah, it's actually, that was the gun I was just showing. That's the Glock 19X. It comes with an aluminum lockable hard case. It comes with an on-point holster that's outside the waistband and free shipping. The whole the promo price is and this is amazing because you'd normally pay $723 for the pistol range package.
Wow, Steve, that seems like a lot of money.
It is a lot of money until you think about what Tar River Arms will charge, and it's only $649.
Wow, that is less money.
That is
at Tar River Arms. I'm doing every one of our commercials today like bad political ads. Wow, Steve, Tar River Arms has lower prices and better service.
They really do, don't they?
So horrible. You know, even people not in the industry, you're sitting at home, you're watching those, and you're just like, oh, jeez. Everyone thinks that. Honestly, it is probably the best firearms, online firearms company out there purchasing online.
That's the best tasting. No, wait, that's the wrong commercial. Sorry.
It is the best tasting firearms commercial online. TarRiverArms.com. Check them out today. TarRiverArms.com. Thanks so much for the support. All right, we'll get some communiques now. We'll get them via the MeWe, get them the Twitter, the Facebook. And remember, at this point, we're just trying to migrate everybody from Facebook and Twitter, and we'll continue to do that, over to MeWe. We'll even get your comments and communiques via Gab if you want to get them via... Oh, I'm sorry, we can't get them via Gab.
No, you can't. They've been down now for about 48 hours. But they're trying. Hey, Bob, you look constipated. Yes, Bill, I just can't do number 2. You need to try Phillips Milk of Magnesium. That's 1024th Taint Pro Ricketts sleeve. Thank you so much. Yahoo, serious, libertarian. That's true. Let's see, over on MeWe, right back. Tara posted something earlier that was really, really good. We're all the same, no matter if you're black, yellow, red, or normal.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. That's right.
Normal is such a relative term, isn't it? So let's see, over on Facebook. Debbie, thank you. The desk, very cool. Fantastic job. No, the middle does not spin.
You sure?
Everyone. Well, we can spin the whole table. Let's see. Good morning.
Why doesn't it spin? Why isn't it a lazy Susan?
And first of all, let's dissect the term lazy Susan. Now, if
slacker Susan, is that better?
If Susan if she was lazy, she would not spin. So it'd be the not so lazy Susan.
So you're saying that's not a good name? Should we change the name?
I think so.
Should we do like minority Susan? Would that be okay?
Well, that has connotations with it that I'm not sure we'd want to actually.
I mean, that was the stereotype back in the day,
right? The lazy
and lazy Susan's an older term. So can we assume that back in the day it was named for a Susan who was a minority?
We could call it Spinner Susan.
How about Spinster Susan?
See, those are two totally different things. A Spinner Susan and Spinster Susan. It sounds
similar.
It does sound similar, but in actuality, they are at opposite ends of the spectrum.
Okay.
If you will.
By the way, another midterm update. There is a woman running, and I say woman, the verdict is still out on that because she's a Democratic socialist. And she's running for a seat in the State House of Pennsylvania. And she had some interesting things to say. I've got the full report now from KDKA in Pittsburgh discussing the story. You know, KDKA.
KDKA Pittsburgh. Yep.
It's one of only 2 radio stations east of the Mississippi.
With a K.
With a K. Although this is the TV station, so
that's still
different. But still,
it's like white working class, poor folk who are racist.
That's who's in our district.
Po folk?
Yeah, white working class poor folk. Ready here.
Democratic candidate for state representative is in hot water for those comments that she made on a local podcast. Sarah Innamorato is almost certain to win her race, but now those comments have spawned a write-in campaign for her rival. KDK investigator Andy Sheehan has the story.
Listen to this.
My name's Sarah Innamorato, and I'm running for state representative.
Sarah Innamorato is a Democratic socialist running for state representative. And after defeating incumbent Dom Costa in the Democratic primary, she appeared to be coasting to victory, but then made this comment about her future constituents.
So I just look at my district, right, and it's 93% white.
My district, which I know is like white working class, poor folk who are racist, because it's so much easier for them to look to their side and say, I'm going to blame that person.
So here's what's happened in light of this. So she beat an older gentleman who is a minority. He is a minority. She beat him. The white woman beat this minority. Right. Beat him senseless.
Beat him.
In the primary.
Yeah.
And it is a primarily Democrat district, so she is likely going to win it. She was coasting until she made those comments.
Right.
And then even the Republicans in the district said, you know what? We're going to back her opponent for a write-in campaign. So they're calling on, so some of the Republicans have said, no, we are going to back the guy she beat.
Right.
To put him in the state house. So that's the backlash against.
Just for saying, for saying that they're racist, that they are.
Yeah, imagine that. And this, I think, is a pretty important rule or lesson to be learned here, that insulting your constituents may be bad for your election. I know, who knew?
You know, they've done some pretty deep research on that, and
I didn't know that
has come up. Yeah, if you insult them, generally they come right back at you.
Huh? Interesting. I mean, I would say, wow, that would apply to probably most places in life. If you insult people, except this broadcast,
right? You know, the folks who can't spell nostalgia,
right? Exactly. Yeah, I mean, the jackals out there, they're like, I mean, it's like kind of they thrive off of it. It's just who we are. We're a little off that way. Again, here's what she said. She's trying to get elected and said this in a primarily white district too. Okay, ready? Again, this is yours.
So I just look at my district, right, and it's 93% white.
My district, which I know is like white working class, poor folk who are racist, because it's so much easier for them to look to their side and say, I'm going to blame that person.
Okay. Here's my new rule. Here's my new rule. I will vote for the person who doesn't make every statement like it's a question. That may be the only thing I have left to vote. I mean, listen, the Republicans have screwed me over the years, over and over and over again.
You're saying that irritates you in what way? Everything that they say is a question? That way?
I'm sorry.
Is that you're saying that everything that they end up saying is they say it like a question?
I don't understand you. Are you asking me a question?
I'm
or are you
saying,
making a statement?
You know, some of these things that they're irritating.
Yes, they are irritating. I'm so confused.
Right. Everything that she says, she ends up like a question.
I'm sorry. Is a statement or a question? It sounded like a fact, but the way you said it is like a question.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. Am I supposed to? Is that?
Yeah.
It sounded more like a question.
So irritating.
That could be. I could be a one-issue voter on "Don't sound like a Valley girl from the '80s." I'm really hungry. I don't know. Can you describe the feelings you're having, and I'll explain.
Like your shoes.
I guess. Do you do or don't?
No, I like your shoes.
Yes, you do like them.
I do like.
How can you be expected? How can you expect people to take you seriously as a young female when everything you say is a question? Not just because you sound dumb, but because you're giving me the impression that I'm supposed to tell you what to think. Let me. I'm going to vote yes for that. Yes, that's right. You're too dumb to make your own decision. And I, as an elder man, am going to tell you, yes, you will. I'm hungry? Yes, you are, because I am hungry.
You should tell her what she wants?
Yes, I'm going to tell you everything you want.
I think I apologize for not asking this question sooner, because I think it is completely relevant and germane to the situation. Is she hot? That is a question,
no, and I'm sorry.
Well, then I can't.
No, here's the thing.
Then I can't get behind her.
I have to pause when you ask me if she's hot. There's always a question there, because I have to go, is she hot, for like how I should answer it. Like if Ron said she's hot, I just answer the question.
Right.
Is she hot? But when you ask the question, as soon as I go, Debbie, what's her name? Schultz, Nancy Pelosi. I go down the list of people that you've claimed are hot, and I'm not sure you understand the term hot. It's not good looking.
You got to weigh everything against what he said before, right?
I do. Everything. I was like, Debbie, what's her name? Schultz.
Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
I am deep. I am deep.
I don't know. Are you?
I am deep.
I don't think you get hot. There's attractive. There's
I get hot.
No, I don't know. Do you? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. I don't know.
Debbie Wasserman Schultz can be hot.
No, she cannot. What? No, you're right. She cannot. If you're asking me, no.
Nancy Pelosi was hot.
So this chick is. I mean, she's a little thick. I'm trying to be politically correct and clean it up so I don't offend people, because that's a core value of mine.
Is she
I
fat?
started to say, everybody's definition of thick.
That's true.
Can be different.
Is she thick and zesty? That's what I want to know. She got the thick and zesty thing going on there. Yeah.
She's a lot of woman.
She's old.
In Hawaii, that would be a very big plus.
So I would say by American standards, you're not going, wow, she's fat. The rest of the world, you're going, she's obese. No, she's a little thick.
Okay.
And she's attractive in the sense that she's young.
Okay.
Now, there's a lot of people that are like, whoa. What I mean by that is...
She good breeding stock? Is that what you're saying?
Good breeding stock. She got them big hips.
That's childbearing hips right there.
No, in that, give her a few years, and that's going to change quickly. Whereas there are plenty of women out there, you're like, wow, that's an attractive person. And over the run, 50, 60-year run, you're like, wow, attractive person.
Because that's really all you need to look at is that 60-year span there, because that's really all we're dealing with.
Right, exactly.
Beyond that.
But she's okay. She's got some piercings and whatnot, but not good piercings.
Define good piercing?
But not good piercing.
Right. I'm basically, when it comes to women, Well, and men too. Anti-piercings. I mean,
Why?
some are more troubling than others.
The ones you can attach a chain to are troubling? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's just some things where here's how you know right off. When you look at them and you go, ow! When you do that. When you walk down the street and you go, ooh! That's how you know that's a no piercing right off. That's an easy gauge for whether gauge. See what I did there? That's the gauge with the piercing.
It's the kind of piercings where when you look at them, they get pissed.
Right.
Are you looking at them?
Yeah, exactly. They look.
What the hell did you get that pierced for if you didn't want anybody to stare at it?
Exactly.
Okay, side note on piercing. Wow, we've really gone to the rails. I'm at the pumpkin patch over the weekend. That's not a strip club down south, by the way. Hi, I'll come down to the pumpkin patch.
Gonna make it rain down in here.
I'm making rain quarters down in here.
You're making my head sweat.
Trying to think of stripper names down south. I'm Penelope Pumpkin. Wouldn't be Pumpkin because she's at the pumpkin patch.
Yeah,
That's
right.
redundant. Susie Squash. I don't know.
You've not seen Squash until you've seen Susie.
Susie Squash. Anyway, so I'm at the pumpkin patch with the kids. And it's early Saturday morning, and I don't want to be at the pumpkin patch with the kids. And I'm out there getting pumpkins, and Cubby's running around like a maniac and trying to pick up big pumpkins that are going to squash him, or I'm going to have to pay for it because he cracks them and the whole thing. You stop it. Put that pumpkin. Leave that. Look, this the whole time. And I look up, and creatures of the night had come out, and I didn't think that they were allowed to be out in the sunlight.
Surprise.
Right. I was like, whoa, the sun is not burning their flesh. Some dude who actually had face tattoos.
Ouch.
I mean, face tattoos, we've all accepted still as a society, even if you like the tats.
Wow.
That is a no, right? That you've taken a different course in life. You've crossed a certain societal line. Okay. He's got the face tats.
Okay.
And he's got the whole whatever. And they had a couple of kids with them looking for the pumpkins. And I was like, wow, creatures of the night with relatively normal kids buying pumpkins. Got it. And then I was like, oh, got it. Pagan holiday. Okay, got it. And I look at her and I went, I want you to picture the classic Bride of Frankenstein look.
Wow.
With the teased up hair.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And the white streak, right? This is what she looked like. And she had, I'm thinking, the clown makeup on.
Right.
So she looked
white.
Like the
pasty. Very
right,
white.
like the vampire
Bloodless.
or the whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I looked, and my first thought was creatures of the night out in the daytime. It's high, the sun is out. Okay? Because there are certain rules. I don't have to run into those people if I'm out in the daytime, 3 a.m. I expect this stuff.
That's right.
And then I was like, because she was a little bit away there, right? Across the pumpkin patch. And I was like, okay, wow. She's at least tall and thin, and she has some really big dimples. No. Look at the dimples. And I got closer, and I saw the glistening from the middle of the dimples.
Oh, no.
The cheek piercings.
That makes my face hurt.
And that's when I was like, yeah, you're across the line there with the piercings.
And doesn't that make you wonder if food gets caught in their mouth?
Okay, caught in their mouth. And don't you leak when you're drinking?
Yes. I would think you look like a fountain.
How do you blow up balloons?
As you're blowing, all you hear is...
Sorry, Junior. We're not a balloon family now. I made that commitment.
All kind of noise when you're blowing it.
Even if you don't snore at night with your mouth closed, you still whistle.
You still whistle.
Honey, are you making tea again? I mean, you're making a commitment in life when you get these things done.
Yes, you are.
So anyway, she has, I think this candidate has like nose piercings and whatnot or whatever. Let me see if I get a picture of her. Tell me what you think, Brad. Is she attractive or not?
Whoa.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. That's a guy. That's one of her fat white constituents.
Whoa.
There she is.
Okay, that was
now
racist.
You're going to look and say attractive, right? Okay. Look at the arms.
No. Yeah. No.
Look at the arms.
Yeah, no.
See,
Sorry.
Yeah, and the picture stops at waist, so there's a good chance she has shelf ass. But
did you say shellfish?
Shelf ass. Or your ass makes a shelf behind you. Everyone knows what that is. Isn't that common now? It's a common term, isn't it?
And you set a beer on it.
You know, the woman or a man, I guess, ladies, calm down, where they're behind a counter, like at a supermarket or something like that, and you're like, oh, an attractive little, when you look over the counter, and you're like, they look like...
There was a bartender in Wyoming like that. I remember looking over the counter.
When you were just
She's
on vacation.
Whoa. It's like, I can't figure out. Is she standing that? Man, does her head swivel 180 degrees? Just
the bottles of whiskey were running.
Right. She keeps knocking them all down as she goes by.
I have no idea where we started.
This candidate.
Oh, that's right.
And so there's a good chance that she has the shell, or she's a centaur. Is it a centaur? Half person, half horse.
Think of the money you'd save on gas.
Right, because
I just ride her everywhere.
There's a whole other thing coming behind her. I worked with a woman in radio who had this phenomenon. She hired me to work at a radio station. We'll call her Tony.
Okay.
Because her name was Tony. And she had the largest ass for a thin person I've ever seen.
Little in the middle, but she got much back.
She had enormous amounts of back. I mean, like waist up, she was a little pudgy, but she was okay. And this had this whole, like its own zip code. It was huge.
Some people pay extra for that, you know.
And I worked on the air.
That's a damn fact right there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I would, but it is. I mean, you like that? That's fine. And what I don't understand is what is in your DNA that says, okay, listen. Everything we get, every calorie, every fat, everything we have to store, put it just in her ass.
It's just going back there.
Do we want any of it in the arms? No. Didn't you hear me? All of it in the ass.
I have a bigger question, Doc. What? Why do they all decide to wear yoga britches?
Right.
Did you just say yoga britches? Wow.
That is the most Texas thing Ron has ever said.
If you notice how Ron's paying extra attention this morning, I haven't heard him speak this much since I've known him.
He just cares about the midterms,
Yeah,
damn it.
that's what it is.
That's all it is.
Speaking of those crab lice and midterms.
If you want to avoid having people mock you because you shouldn't be wearing yoga britches, what with your huge ass, maybe eat a little healthier with MojoWildRice.com. This is an opportunity for you to eat healthy and still eat really delicious. That's the key right there. Most of us would be thin and healthy if it was easy, if it was delicious. It's either not tasty, you're like, here, eat this cardboard, you'll live longer. Or tree bark or something. Or they're like, it's really expensive and you don't know how to make it. One of those are your options, right?
Yeah. Those aren't really options either.
Mojo Wild Rice is the only native grain in North America. It's from Minnesota. It's Minnestalgia. And it's really healthy, and it's really tasty, and it's pretty simple.
But you're too stupid to spell Minnestalgia.
You really are. And I know that because I'm too stupid to... I have endorsed their product for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, and I still go, is it 2 N's or 1? I was typing it out the other day.
3.
I was like... M-I-N-N-E, no, M-I-N-E-S, M-I, Mojo Wild Rice.
So much easier.
That's what I did when I wrote it down the other. I was giving the commercial to Matt Locke of the Conservative Cartel because he's only just become aware of them.
Right.
And I started typing, minute, Mojo Wild Rice. You know when you do that, you're writing things and you just like, I'll just say it a different way. That's all. Thank God we have so many words to say so many things in the English language. But it's also pretty easy to make. You're boiling water and putting rice in. That's really what you do. You boil water and put the rice in. There's the entry level right there.
Even I can
follow the directions, the proportions of how much rice to water. That's all you have to do. I like to add just a little bit more water and cook it a little bit longer so it's softer. Sometimes I'll make it with broth. You can add some seasoning to it because you can make a soup pretty easy out of it or whatever. But if you infuse it by boiling it with and cooking it in a broth, a chicken broth, a beef broth, something like this, it flavors the rice a little bit more by itself. So it kind of gets...
I like to cook it with the whole deer. I just throw the whole deer in the pot.
Right in with it?
Yep.
As long as you cook enough, you're fine.
There you go.
And they're now serving that at the Pumpkin Patch Strip Club. Just off the 4-lane in Macon.
I recommend bringing your own utensils, though. Just in case.
Yes, of all cities I came up with to talk about a strip club down south, I came up with Macon. Just so you know. That was right off the top of my head there. MojoWildRice.com. Really great products there. You know how you can trust us to endorse products?
Right up until today, yes.
Right. I bring in the pepper jelly for Matlock to try, and he goes, "Oh, hell no." Sorry, I don't eat jelly. Yeah. I go, "It's pepper jelly. I don't like sweets."
Yeah, I did. There's some.
Most people will be like this.
Uh-huh.
It's so good, Doc. Wonderful. I'm going to have to get some. Matt's like, "No, sorry, I don't like it."
Yeah, I don't trust
Then I bring
anybody
some in for Ron, and I'm like, "Here," and Ron's like, "I don't do cream cheese."
No, dude, but the jelly was great.
He's over there doing jelly shots.
Ghost pepper jelly. It was good.
By the way, the ghost pepper ended up, and I've had them all at various times, but I hadn't all of them laid out to sample at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I went down to figure out which one I like best. I think I like the ghost pepper best. Would you think?
It's got just enough bite. It doesn't. It's not like ghost pepper.
You're right.
It's got just enough.
And
bite.
so you got a little tingle in your mouth there, but when you, it gives you the, it's getting warm in here,
Exactly.
which I really like because that's burning more calories.
The bead of sweats on your forehead.
And it seems to be a little less sweet. So if you, don't want it as sweet, but this is not getting better. MojoWildRice.com. You'll be happy you checked them out. Maybe we just move along to some communiques because I'm sure that's going to classy up the joint a bit.
I'm a self-serving douchebag. That's thanks to you, too.
I don't know. I mean, let me hear the tweet on the side.
Stephen English. TJ Toppin over there on Twitter. Today is Terrible Candy Day.
Terrible candy.
It's Candy Corn Day. It's National Candy Corn Day. Okay, but you know what? We have the candy corn and the peanuts in there. That is really good
I'm
together.
telling you, if you've never tried candy corn and salted peanuts together.
Now that's awesome.
Yes.
That's really good.
It is amazing. I don't know what they call that. Trash can trash or something like that.
Called candy corn
Candy
and peanuts.
corn and peanuts.
I've never liked either.
It's a
one of them.
payday. It tastes a lot like a payday
that's what it is.
candy bar.
Yes. Which, by the way, did we finally decide it has nougat in it?
Yes, it does have nougat.
Okay.
Paydays have nougat.
Yeah.
They have nougat in it.
There was a big debate. It was just caramel and peanuts or caramel, peanuts, and nougat, and it does have nougat, as I
nougat in
told you.
Remember the good old days when candidates used to take speaking lessons so they didn't sound like they were on spring break at Myrtle Beach?
The rules have all changed now. Nothing matters. Nothing matters. It's a different world, and boy, is it. And boy, is it good.
Isn't it a good world?
No, it's not. If you're asking me, I can absolutely say no, it's not. All right, let me get a break in. Back with more of whatever this is next.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. Mojo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump and the First Lady head to Pittsburgh today in the aftermath of the massacre at the synagogue there that left 11 people dead.
Spokeswoman Sarah Sanders says the president and First Lady want to show the nation's support
and grieve with the Pittsburgh community.
But some there are urging him to stay away, accusing the president of contributing to a toxic climate that may have led to what's believed to be the deadliest ever attack on Jews in the U.S. But the targeted synagogue's rabbi says the president is certainly welcome. Sagar Magani, Washington.
The president has a message for the thousands of people marching north through Mexico, intent on being allowed into the U.S. The president tweets, "This is an invasion of our country and our military is waiting for you." To that end, Mr. Trump is sending some 5,200 troops to help secure the southern border. At the same time, Mexican authorities have now disbanded a second caravan as it tried to enter Mexico from the south.
The police helicopter flew low over the Suchiate River where the hundreds of migrants were attempting to cross into Mexico the same way the larger caravan of Central Americans had a little over a week ago. The rotor blades whipped up the river water, making crossing nearly impossible, and local media reported that one man drowned in the attempt. Those who did make it across were quickly picked up by the Mexican police and escorted away.
That's a BBC's Will Grant. Cesar Sayoc has been ordered held without bail pending a Friday court hearing. The 56-year-old accused of sending pipe bombs to prominent Democrats, had his first court appearance yesterday before a federal magistrate in Miami. The FBI says evidence collected in connection with a suspicious package addressed to CNN in Atlanta has now been sent to the agency's lab in Quantico, Virginia. Wall Street this morning, stock futures higher, Dow futures up 95 points, S&P futures 8 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey guys, Ron Phillips with the Conservative Cartel. Are you tired of the bar scene, hoping to find the love of your life? Well, there is a better way for you single guys and ladies out there. Check out WeThePeople.dating. They make it easy to find a liberty-minded match, and it takes less than a minute to create a free account and begin browsing through over 11 million monthly subscribers. Look, we all know the success of a relationship hinges on the core shared values of a couple. So check out WeThePeople.dating for the love of people and people of love. Sign up and start dating today. WeThePeople.dating. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of a partner.
There's a better way to meet people without having to suffer through all the crazies. Weed out all the nutty people with WeThePeople.dating. That's WeThePeople.dating. It's easy to find a liberty-minded match, and it takes less than a minute to create a free account and begin browsing through over 11 million monthly subscribers. Look, we all know the success of a relationship hinges on the core shared values of a couple. So check out WeThePeople.dating. Sign up and start dating today. WeThePeople.dating. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of a partner.
This is David Barton with another moment from America's history. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court recently overturned the jury sentence of a man convicted of the brutal murder of a 71-year-old woman because the prosecuting attorney had mentioned a Bible verse in the courtroom. Yet consider what happened in the 1778 case, Respublica versus John Roberts. Thomas McKean, a signer of the Declaration of Independence, was the Chief Justice of that court, and addressing John Roberts after the jury had sentenced him to death for treason, McKean told him, "You will probably have but a short time to live. Before you launch into eternity, it behooves you to repent of your evil deeds, to be incessant in prayers to the great and merciful God to forgive your manifold transgressions and sins, to teach you to rely upon the merit and passion of a dear Redeemer." This prominent founding father actually delivered a salvation message to the defendant in the courtroom.
For more information on God's hand in American history, contact Wall Builders at 1-800-8-REBUILD.
Ship has landed.
Doc Thompson and Brad Staggs, along with Ron, on Mojo50.com.
Who came strangely to life this morning. I think it was the crab lice.
We are humbly asking that you help us out along this journey. In fact, we just got some really nice communiques via the website. People sent us some very nice words. In fact, got one from Wade who said, thank you guys for having the guts, for stepping out and making this platform happen. I love y'all's vision and style. The content is edgy, and I can't get enough. God bless all of you in the Mojo family.
Edgy? You mean strip clubs and crab lice
are edgy? Imagine? Really? In today's world, apparently it is. But no, this is what we're called to do, and hopefully it'll work out. If we get just a little bit lucky, we will crush this, because the vision we have for it, I think, is really solid. I've always been pretty good at understanding the general idea and attitude of what Americans are thinking and going through. From a broad scope of, like right now, we're tired of political correctness. Yes. Even people on the left are tired of political correctness. You may not hear that story from the media. In fact, you won't hear that. You won't hear that admitted often from people on the left. They're tired of it, and they know this is all crap. They know that they are helping to craft this court of public opinion and that all of that is bad, but they can't stop because it's tied to some other things that they value so much. So they don't know how to disconnect themselves from it. They don't know how to stop ruining society with this stuff. So they're tired of that. We all want to be able to joke again. We're all tired of the crap. All of these things, I know this like I have known very few things before. And that's what we're centering this on. So if we get just a little bit lucky over the next 5-6 months, if we can maintain, just continue to grow like we have, we're going to crush this thing. It's going to be huge. And it's going to be something you can laugh along with and say, I was there when Brad finally got the desk done. Stuff like that.
And then remember, he died like the next week.
I know.
It was really sad.
He didn't live to see the vision, you know. But Doc took his share of the company. It was nice that he will Doc that. That was very warm and generous of him.
I don't own any of this is the sad part.
Oh, you don't? That's right.
I own none of it. I'm an innocent bystander.
He does not own any of it.
I don't own any
of it. So if you would, please help us out. We've got a GoFundMe campaign. Anything you can donate would be greatly appreciated. I really hate asking for it, but we realized, we had thought about doing this. We had thought about opening or asking for shares of the company as well, or offering shares of the company as part of it. We may still do that down the road at some point. It'll have to be a ways. But in order to set that up, that costs a lot of money. Which, if we had a lot of money, the shares of the company. We wouldn't have to ask for money to give away shares of the company. It's all very convoluted. So this is the best course of action. If we can just hit a little bit up front here to give us the momentum to grow more quickly, we'll be all set. And so this was a couple months ago. We discussed this. We thought about doing it and setting it up. And then yesterday, the day before, over the weekend, we heard about Gab. And I was like, guys, we got to grow more quickly. We have to get to a point where you put enough money behind us where we can live independently within a couple of years of all of those tech companies. That we don't need their servers, we don't need their domain registers, any of those things.
We don't need their stinking like button because Twitter's now going to get rid of the like button.
Are they?
That's what they were. I just saw.
And you know what else we don't need? Badges.
We don't need those stinking badges.
Element mattress, though. We definitely need Element mattresses. I have an Element mattress, and I love it. There should be an Element mattress in your house. That is, if you want to actually sleep well. If you don't, like let's say you have guests come over, you do not want an Element mattress there because they're not going to leave.
They'll never, ever leave. Ever.
Do you have a guest room? Relatives often come over. Do not put an Element mattress in there. They will not leave.
Idea.
It is fantastic. You'll get the best night's sleep that you've gotten, period. It's memory foam, but it's modern memory foam. It's not just a slab of foam. It's first of all better quality than we used to get. It's not the same. Oh my gosh, I'm sweating so much. It's so hot. It is fantastic. And you don't have to take my word for it. You can sleep on it for 100 nights, absolutely free. Order one. Next couple of months, try it. See if you like it. You don't have to just spend 20 minutes in a mattress store going, I don't know, honey. Come over and try the Deluxe Pure Extra Plush. If you ever notice, that's the names they have, stuff like that. Now, this is good. Let me try on my side. Here, I often sleep with my arm over like this, and then you're like...
Can we try this naked?
Right.
They always get really irritated in the mattress store if you lay down on the mattress naked.
You're going to the wrong mattress stores, my friend. You need to go to the ones at the Pumpkin Patch in Macon, Georgia.
Bring your own spork.
It's, but try it for free. Try it for free for 100 nights. You don't like it, return it for a full refund. If you do keep it, they're going to give you a lifetime warranty. And with the copper Element mattress, those copper ion fabrics are going to keep dust mites away. It's antibacterial, antifungal. You'll love it. But when you order your Element mattress today, and are you going to order one or two? That's how you sell stuff. You don't say you're going to order.
Right.
How many do you want, sir? Well, I can't say none, apparently. He didn't give me that option.
Exactly.
Right? Use the promo code Mojo50. Mojo50, and you are going to get 50% off.
What? How much?
50.
Like 50?
Like 50, like Mojo50. 50% off at elementmattress.com.
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's Brad Staggs.
On this Halloween Eve, headlines are brought to you by Element Mattress. That's a mattress with 2 T's, 2 S's. Migrant caravan update. It's still headed this way. They are, however, worn down from long miles of walking. They're frustrated by the caravan's slow progress. Some migrants have been dropping out, returning home, or applying for protected status in Mexico. Now, there's some irony for you. Conscious of that frustration, representatives demanded safe and dignified transportation to the capital on Monday after the group arrived in Oaxaca, town of Niltepec, Mexico.
Wow, that is beautiful this time of year, too.
It really is. If you haven't seen the Niltepec,
you should look it up and
just
look for the pictures online. You'll love it.
Just go to Yahoo and Google it.
By the way, I saw that some people from the second caravan are a little unhappy.
They're not getting any attention.
Right, they're not getting attention, and they also are much further away from the midterms.
Yes, they won't arrive until farther after the midterms.
So they are demanding transportation. Hey, How come our caravan doesn't have the same attention and stuff the other caravan does?
Right.
Again, progressive ideas conflicting. And by the way, where is the first caravan offering help?
Please.
Shouldn't the first caravan go, hey, we're a bunch of progressives here. We need to go and stop and help those people.
The second caravan is very jealous of the first caravan's bright and colorful clothing.
Hey,
whiter whites.
How come the Tide truck isn't here washing our clothes? All temperature? Where are you?
Yeah, but the second caravan has the WhatsApp app on their cell phone.
Mm-hmm. They don't make all temperature anymore, do they? They make cheer.
They make cheer still.
It's just not all temperature.
To me, any laundry detergent is all temperature. It really doesn't matter. I think that's the thing, is that all laundry detergents work in any, because the big thing was it works in cold water too. Who washes anything in cold water? I wash everything in warm.
Yeah, that's wrong though. That's the reason your clothes look so dingy.
You mean you don't like my yellow shirt?
That white shirt of yours looks a little dingy. That fluorescent yellow shirt looks a little dingy.
That's why I don't buy colorful clothes. Buy everything in grayscale.
You got to wash in cold.
Why?
Because it protects the clothing. By the way, I don't know if that's true. I'm just wanting like 4 people out there who know that are like going, that's wrong. Brad, don't listen to him. Don't listen. He's ruining your clothes. They're frantically emailing. Brad, they're posting on social media. Don't listen.
You know, this early in the morning, you're lucky I'm wearing anything at all. Let me just say that. After getting out of bed, I could get in the truck naked and I wouldn't know the difference. Good news. Kansas City's nonprofit stolen colon has been found.
Oh, that's right. That colon.
Yes, it has been found. It was found.
Giant colon.
The giant colon was found in a vacant home.
A vacant home?
A vacant home in Kansas City.
The big question is, was the colon vacant?
It could not have been. It couldn't have been inflated. It must have still been in a box.
Colon in a box?
There's yes.
So, do we have any details on it?
The police said, thanks to a tip, officers found the stolen colon in a vacant house near near Virginia Avenue and Gregory Boulevard. The nonprofit said,
was it near Virginia or on Virginia?
It was near Virginia.
Okay.
The nonprofit.
It was also near Gregory though. It wasn't in Gregory, on Gregory. Listen, these prepositions are going to matter here.
Yeah, I just realized
when you're dealing with colons,
found.
Prepositions matter.
Yes, they do.
Right? Example: the doctor is right. I have to put this on your colon. I have to put this in your colon.
That's true. Big difference.
Near your colon.
The good news is...
Right? Over your colon, under your colon. Prepositions matter when you're talking about colons.
The police are processing the colon for evidence. They'll return it to the KU Cancer Center for storage. They don't have a suspect in custody in connection to the theft, but the agency said it will continue to investigate.
So, was it damaged? Was the colon damaged?
There's no word on whether the colon was violated or otherwise damaged.
Okay. So it may be fine.
Yes, it may be fine. Which ties us into our next story. The police need your help.
Okay.
They are looking for a man accused of ejaculating onto women in the subway in New York. If you have seen this man, authorities report that the unknown suspect boarded the train at the Columbus Circle West 59th Street subway station, stood behind a 27-year-old victim at the rear of the subway car. Thank you. Once the train stopped at Rockefeller Center Station, the victim noticed the man had ejaculated on her buttocks and backpack, according to police. Please give this the dignity to...
Have they caught him?
They have not caught the man. However,
they have pictures?
They do have a picture of the man.
I hope, before I look at it.
This is...
is it an action shot? What is it?
No, this is not. This is I believe this could be either...
Oh, what a douche.
This is either...
You could tell.
This is either...
If that guy walked into a room of like 70 people and you're like, pick out the guy who...
Yeah,
you're like, that's the guy. Come on.
I can't help but wondering, though, this must be post activity.
Yeah, he looks...
yeah.
Let's
just move on.
I would say this is wrong. I'm going to preface all comments that I make with it's wrong.
It is wrong.
It's outrageous.
Very.
It's disgusting.
Very much.
I don't think any guy wants to be a part of any of that.
Nope.
Most of the time.
Right.
I don't think any woman wants this. You wouldn't want this for your wife, your son, your daughter. You want any of this.
Absolutely not.
Okay, it is wrong. However, you got to give him credit for the logistics.
Yes. I mean, quite frankly, it takes balls.
It does. I'm not talking about the brain. That's not what I'm giving credit for. It does take balls.
I mean,
it does.
Literally.
Yes, I know we haven't ring the bell for that. But the logistics are really tricky. You see what I'm saying?
I do see what you're saying.
You're in public.
Yes, you are in public.
And depending on how close she was, because I'm guessing he wanted to make a deposit.
Yes.
He wasn't just there because, I mean, that was part of the weird, creepy, right? Like the people that leave it on other things for people to pick up. We've seen, remember the grocery store thing? Okay, right. This is their particular crazy, stupid, disgusting fetish where they're leaving a
have you noticed
a prize.
By the way, have you noticed Ron is paying attention?
He picked up his headphones, put them on so he could take part in the conversation.
I just wanted to make sure.
So if that's your goal, you're like, no, I'm the creepy guy that wants to leave them a little present. And you're on the subway. Logistically speaking, unless you are very close, I mean, you got to get extra credit points for the difficulty of the maneuver.
I started to say, did nobody catch him in the act?
Right, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, the East German judge is going to award extra points for the logistical difficulties, right? I mean,
it is
let's
possible.
say you're doing a gymnastics routine. And you do a very simple routine.
Yes.
You may do it flawlessly, and they're going to give you points. They're going to like, but it was an easy routine.
Right.
Wherein you add some more difficult maneuvers. You may not get it perfect, but they're going to factor in that they were more difficult maneuvers.
Absolutely.
So when you're rating this guy's performance, you've got to at least say, wow, on the subway, in front of everybody, and you weren't right next to her.
Well,
right?
It is possible. I mean, I think we do have to factor in the there could have been modern conveniences at play which would lessen the need for bodily movement.
I would say this is the equivalent of the triple sow cow of the world of masturbation. Is that what it is? The sow cow?
I believe it is. It's
the ice skating.
Right.
Reference. Yeah.
More difficult than a triple Lutz.
There it is.
Yes. Dolly Parton once entered a Dolly Parton lookalike contest anonymously, but lost to a drag queen.
What?
Just so you know, she once entered a Dolly Parton lookalike contest anonymously and lost to a drag queen. That's all I got.
Okay.
Strange black pouches washing up on Carolina beaches are not pieces of plastic, officials warn. I want to show you, as well as the audience, the picture of what is washing up on the Carolina beaches.
Is there anything in the purses?
Well, I'm about to tell you what's in those purses because they are not plastic at all. They are known by some as mermaids' purses or devil's pocketbooks. They may look like plastic, but the officials with the Cape Hatteras National Seashore clarified Monday they are not plastic at all. They are skate eggs.
What?
Skates are in the shark family, but share a flat-like appearance similar to stingrays. Those leathery pouches serve as an egg sac, typically attached to a plant or other stationary object in the water. They wash ashore.
Wow. I got to tell you, that's going to be very disappointing when I think I found a purse with valuables inside.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh, this is...
Yes.
Oh. And possibly disgusting.
Yes. Quite possibly disgusting. Especially
wow,
when you
that
couple
is.
it with the previous
oh my gosh,
story.
there's so many purses. There's going to be valuables in one of them.
Yes, nope. The harder you look, the less.
Okay.
Do we have a mid-headline sponsor?
Oh, we do.
Do we?
I was shirking my my duties there. Yes, I do.
Who might that be?
Oh, you actually want to know who it is? That would be Patriot Mobile.
Ah, very good, very good. Patriot Mobile. Do we want to talk about them now or just...
I thought you were going to talk about them.
Patriot Mobile. If you go to patriotmobile.com, you can sign up for a...
Why am I always doing the work here?
That's a very good question, because if you sign up for a Patriot Mobile account, what you're doing is it's almost an effortless way for you to take part in the efforts against what's happening with Big Mobile. They are donating to...
Would you say the creep of Big Mobile? The progressive creep?
Yes, and here's what people don't know is that these big mobile companies, big cellular companies are giving to progressive causes. So if you are a customer of theirs, you are in effect giving to progressive causes without even knowing it.
At an alarming rate?
It's really scary. And because most of us who are right-leaning really don't have time to protest, we don't have time to do all the other stuff. This is a way that you can do something without really doing anything. All you do, you're just paying your cell phone bill every month, and you probably have it on automatic draft, so you're not even thinking about it. So the part that you have to think about, hey, am I going to get good cell coverage? Yep.
It's wonderful.
Are you
nationwide coverage?
Are you going to get a good plan and there's going to be less money sucked out of your checking account every month?
Yep. Competitive rates, likely you're going to save money for a comparable plan.
Can I get a good phone from Patriot Mobile?
Yes, you can get all the current phones and all that. Plus, they have really good prices on them as well. So if you want a lesser phone, but because you also want to save some money, I think their last deal, they had iPhones and Androids, whatever those are, for $4 a month. That's awesome. So you get a great deal. Just remember, patriotmobile.com/doc. If you put the /doc on there, then we're going to get some credit for it because they know you actually ordered from us. That's where you heard it, and they know this advertising works. Patriotmobile.com/doc or 800-8-PATRIOT. If you call 800-8-PATRIOT, make sure you tell them you heard about it on Mojo 50 or Doc Thompson or some identifying feature.
Something.
That they would recognize. If
Yeah.
you just say jackhole, they may not know that.
Yeah, they probably won't, but if you just use the 3 simple letters DOC, gives us credit, helps us, I was going to say progress our, but let's not use the word progress.
Let's move on.
Even though progressive sounds like a positive word, it really isn't.
PatriotMobile.com/doc.
T-minus 7 days until the most important election of our lifetime. Did I mention it is the most important election of our lifetime? It is the most...
2018's the most important election of our lifetime.
Thank you, it is.
Until 2020, that's the most important election of our lifetime.
Well, at least we know that's the most important one.
Yes.
Whoa.
Wait a second,
That's the most important
2022, okay.
election of our lifetime. Until the next one comes.
Matt Lars never keeps me laughing as much as Matt Lars does. RuPaul said it well. RuPaul says, I don't remember it ever being this dark. It is so important to vote. Whether the outcome is what you want it to be or not, you have to be a part of the dialogue. You are a reflection of the world, and the world is a reflection of you.
What a bunch of crap.
Get out there and vote, says RuPaul.
No, it's a bunch of crap. First of all, that's one of those things that sounds good, but you're like, well, at least real RuPaul. Now start that again. Do you have the verse? It doesn't... The world is so dark.
I don't remember it ever being this dark. It is so important to vote.
So you're saying, get out and vote because it's dark, meaning RuPaul has an opinion on one side or the other, making it dark, right?
Congratulations, though, for not saying which it is. I mean, we're assuming we know which it is.
I will give you that, too, but just get out and vote. That means it's all hidden. Do you think more people on the right are going, well, I wasn't going to vote, but now that RuPaul said it, maybe I will? Or more people on the left are going to listen to RuPaul?
Look, if Taylor Swift says it and RuPaul says it, that's all I need.
Okay.
That's all I need. George Renninger of Wonderful Candy Company in the late 1800s, that's who you can blame. He invented candy corn. Yep, National Candy Corn Day.
When was that, the 1800s?
Yes, the late 1800s.
We haven't progressed candy technology.
I'm telling you.
So you people that like candy corn by itself?
It's the old standby. They make pumpkin candy corn now. They're huge. I love them.
They're pumpkin flavor?
No, they're pumpkin. They're shaped as pumpkins.
The M&Ms, the candy corn M&Ms, remember how good they are? They don't really, No,
because those are just more like white chocolate type thing. Ron, you can get candy corn around Valentine's Day. It's just shaped like little hearts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's all candy corn. It tastes exactly the same.
Right.
They're just bigger pieces.
As a kid, I remember you got the candy corn, and then you had the candy corn where the yellow part was actually brown. What was the point of that?
The little chocolate ones. There's a little chocolate on there.
It was the same flavor.
It might have been
Sorry,
the same
I tuned
flavor.
out for a second. What the hell are you guys talking about?
The little chocolate tipped candy corn.
It wasn't chocolate. It was just brown tipped.
I used to eat the little piece off. I think it was the chocolate flavor.
I don't think so. If it was, because I remember as a kid going, wow, this candy corn sucks. Ooh, there's one that's a different color. Maybe it's, nope, it's just as sucky.
It's just too
I didn't
sweet.
say it didn't suck. I just said I think it tasted
It's
different.
too sweet. That's why you have to put it with peanuts.
Candy corn was so bad as a kid, I used to hope I would get a pin in it. I was hoping that somebody would poison me. I was like, maybe it comes with flavor. Now with pin flavor, it's got something going on.
That's tantamount. Let's see, toothbrush, candy corn toothbrush. I'll take all that.
Exactly.
Razor blades and apples.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, I never knew anybody that ever got a razor blade in an apple.
No, I did back in the day. That was a scare thing. That was the. I mean, did it happen? I'm sure there was a couple things, but
I want to say I've never seen it. I don't believe it.
The worst I've ever gotten was, the worst my kids have ever gotten was a toad.
A toad?
In their pumpkin.
Like someone threw it in?
Somebody put a toad in
like
their
a live
pumpkin.
one?
Like a live one.
That sounds like it might have been another kid doing that.
Oh, it was.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, that's not some
But
crazy
there's no idea
creep
how
at
long
the-
we carried that thing around with it peeing all over the candy.
That's a good point.
Was your candy like exposed in there? Or was it in
But
packages?
did that stop us?
No, of course not.
Chocolate
not.
is chocolate.
You know, that would be funny to hand out toads. Like a basket of toads when people come.
Goldfish.
And you go ahead and take one. You let them pick.
Or
goldfish.
goldfish.
Here you go.
Here you go. Just dip in
No,
there.
we don't have any baggies.
No,
You're just going to
just-
have to carry it home.
Yeah.
Cup it. We'll put
If
some
you-
water in your hand.
You put it in your mouth with some water. It should make the journey.
No,
just
run.
fine.
Run home. Run. Don't wait. By the way, in my little crazy neighborhood, we have everybody in the neighborhood works for a distributor or works for Walmart. So when the kids open up their bags and they're like, and you go to throw something in, you look in the bag and you see like Werther's Original and all this because the guy works at Werther Original or Nestle or the Nabisco and stuff. It's,
By
it's
the way,
crazy.
Werther's Originals are good.
That's because you're old.
I knew it. Damn it. So it's on this day in 1938, something really scary happened.
1938.
1938.
You got me. One of the movies like Frankenstein or
War
something.
of the Worlds. Orson
of
Welles.
course.
In 1991, the perfect storm hit the North Atlantic, and we got the movie The Perfect Storm.
Awesome.
Andrea Gale went down.
All
Those
right.
are headlines.
High capacity, fully automatic, large caliber, Freedom. Mojo 50.
President Trump has ordered at least 5,000 active duty military to protect the U.S.-Mexico border. Many are applauding President Trump's plan to secure our borders by using the military. While the president under the U.S. Constitution does not have the power to declare war, the president does have the power to unilaterally order military action in defense of the United States pursuant to a national emergency created by attack upon the United States. President Trump tweeted recently that Brandon Judd of the National Border Patrol Council is right when he said that the Democrat-inspired laws make it tough to stop people at the border and that the laws must be changed. Trump reiterated that he would be bringing out the military for this particular national emergency and promised that those in the caravan would be stopped, with numbers swelling at times to well over 7,000 while ignoring the first asylum country law, which dictates those seeking asylum must do so in the first country they reach that offers asylum, in this case Mexico. Many Americans see this as an invasion of our country and want it stopped by any means necessary. Trump has said that we are a great sovereign nation. We have strong borders and will never accept people coming into our country illegally. And he has given a strong message to those who want to open our borders to allowing people to come here illegally because he understands the ramifications of open borders and how this lends itself to the destruction of American values and our way of life. Trump recently said for those who want and advocate for illegal immigration, just take a good look at what has happened to Europe over the last 5 years. A total mess. They only wish they had the decision to make over again. That should be enough to wake up anyone who questions the president's proposed actions. And that's today's reality check with Susan Knowles.
Take the pain out of ordering your diabetic testing supplies with Diathrive. Diathrive ships the testing supplies you need directly to you when you need them. Best of all, with plans starting as low as $8 a month, Diathrive is probably going to cost you less than what you're paying today. Diathrive is so convinced that you'll love their service, they're offering your first month of supplies free. Simply type the code DOC, D-O-C, at checkout. Diathrive.com. That's D-I-A, thrive.com.
All right, get your comments in via the MeWe at MeWe.com. Please sign up for an account today and start migrating over to MeWe. They will continue to evolve their platform to be a little more user-friendly right now. I do love the fact that it is so free, though, that it's just kind of the Wild West. But they do have their pages now, which is a little more like Timeline and Facebook, so they'll continue. And they do have live broadcasting coming as well. They just have not – all the tech's built out. They can turn it on when they're ready to go. They just need to build up enough people so it is financially viable for them.
And thank you, Becky, over on MeWe. Werther's is good. Thanks, Wilford Brimley. I don't believe I. And Russ over in the Mojo chat room says tonight at 8, Odyssey Radio will be airing the original War of the Worlds. It's Odyssey1.com. I mean, normally we don't promote other, but that's the kind of people we are here.
Well, we need to thank them also for their generous donation.
Yes.
Odyssey One. Yeah.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So
nice.
let me spell that website then. ODYSY1.com. That's ODYSY1. They'll be airing War of the Worlds tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern. That's exactly 80 years after the original airing of the radio play.
And we're so sophisticated now. We would never buy something like that now.
No.
Caravan.
No.
We would never buy fake stuff like that now.
Of course not.
Fake bombs.
We're much smarter
Much
now.
smarter, much more evolved. It's nice.
Yeah.
Do you realize that's what's going on?
Yeah.
We joked about the Caravan, about is it real or whatever. And I was talking with Matt Locke of the Conservative Cartel. Do you know him?
I've heard him from across the street.
Yeah. He's loud. He's loud.
Yes, he is.
If we base rating success on volume, he's doing well. He's doing really good.
Far and away number one.
But so we're talking in the hallway, and I said, Matt, I'm absolutely a cynical and skeptical person about government and everything else, which also, as I've pointed out, makes me head toward the direction of conspiracy theories.
Yes.
But then I'm stopped by the fact that I'm even cynical and skeptical of them.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to this Caravan, I said, I know parts of this are fake. I don't know if it's the inception, where it's how it developed, if that part was fake, if that was the AstroTurf. I don't know if it's the help along the way, if it's both, if it's all of it. Parts of it are fake. But I said, as crazy as it is, do you realize it could be CGI and we would never know?
That's true. It's I mean, that sounds crazy to say, but it's absolutely possible.
Imagine this. Imagine I offered very reasonable proof today that it was CGI. Would anybody believe me?
No.
Of course not.
No, they would call you a vast right-wing conspiracist.
Right. I would put this out there and I would say, look at this. Yeah. Here's the proof. Here I'm interviewing 6 people who created it. Here's how they did it. Here's the making of the CGI Caravan, the document. I could do all of that and people go, look at this. No, just a right-wing guy trying to hurt people who just want a better way of all the nonsense there, right?
Yep.
That's what they do. And how easy would it be to do? And you go, well, Doc, no, because people would blow the whistle because you got reporters out there. No.
Yeah.
You just they're lying. That's all you do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an easy secret to keep. That's the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it.
All right.
And by the way, I just want to know where are they all going to the bathroom? 7,000 people. Imagine a stadium.
8,000 now.
8,000 people in a stadium. Have you ever seen the bathroom lines in a stadium with 8,000 people in it? Where are they going to the bathroom?
And I also know there's not a lot of women. They want to tell you this is women and children in the Caravan.
I have not seen.
It is not. You know how
many.
you know?
How?
Because it is progressing.
That's true. That's true.
Why can't we stop? I want to stop and my feet hurt.
And the bathroom.
And the bathroom.
And the bathroom.
Yes. Yeah.
And you're like, can you just, I want to get some miles behind us.
I gotta go to the bathroom. We gotta stop.
We've got to hurry. The midterms are coming up.
Care.
We've got to make it to the border.
You want me to go right here in my pants?
Mr. Soros said we have to make it to the border before the midterms.
Fine, whatever.
That's how you know.
Yeah.
We're going to be dragging the whole thing down. Yeah, I got to get to a whole lot of things going on, including Peter Murphy, Vice President at the Investment in Education Coalition. How are you, Mr. Murphy?
Hey, Doc. It's great to be on. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you on. Now, your group promotes school choice. And what does that mean?
That's correct. Well, it means giving families public educational and private educational options beyond their zip code, beyond their residence, being able, similar, not unlike what we take for granted in higher ed. be able to go to a school that best meets their child's needs, and there's a number of vehicles by which to make that happen.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. So I imagine there's the rules and laws that would keep a kid in one school district because he lives there. So I would guess changing those so he could go or she could go to a different school district, as well as being able to take those dollars to a private school?
Correct. So you could do it through what's called vouchers. You could use tax credits to get private donors to donate more to scholarship funds, which is, I think, the most effective means by doing it, with something that we've supported legislatively. There's charter schools, which is a form of public school choice. They're set up in at least 44 states around the country, plus the District of Columbia. So there's several means to get there. And what it does is it helps particularly children from low-income households to get a better education than they would living in the residence they live at. They could still live there, but they could go to a Catholic school down the street. They could go to a neighboring school district, public school or private school. It's ways of getting financial means to those families so they can take their schooling elsewhere. And most school, really all the ones I can think of, certainly on the scholarship, tax credit side, and the voucher side, families have skin in the game. I mean, even poor families, they're not getting a free ride here. They have to put up some of their own funds typically.
This is an issue. School choice frustrates me very much because this should be a no-brainer. Peter, there should be no argument here if people were genuine and genuinely cared about education and making life better for children, even those people who may not have the same income. This is simple. Why should a person not be able to control where their child goes to school, send them to the best place, and if they believe the money that is going to be allocated for their child to go to a public school, to transfer that to a private school? Why would you ever stand against it unless you had skin in the game for the progressive agenda of big public schools and unions and all of that? That's all this comes down to.
Well, and really what's frustrating so public education policy, right, is made by the teacher unions. It's made by and for the teacher unions. Politicians do that for the teacher unions. And public schools are typically the biggest employers in a given congressional or legislative district, right?
And Peter, real quick,
so
before you move on, I want you to stress that a little bit. I want you to stress that the teachers unions control public education. I don't think people realize that.
No question about it. Public education policy is for the adults. It's not for the children. I'm not saying children don't benefit or that teachers don't care about kids. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying two different things there. Public education policy by the elected officials is controlled largely by the teacher union. And so when we try to do school choice in a state capitol or in Congress, that's who we're up against, which is why while we've had success and it's built up gradually over the last 3 decades, it's still on the margins right now. And the thing of it is, public education will always be with us. It should always be with us. And that's not going to change largely because most parents, public education works for their child. It not that it can't be better, but it works for most children. Okay, suburban school districts, particularly that dominate the landscape. So school choice that we're talking about is going to affect children who are losing, who are at the margins, who are not getting the education they deserve, who are graduating right now, not college or career ready. That's who we're talking about. So helping those kids at the margin, which still is substantial numbers of children, but still, no one's ending public education, and that's the overheated rhetoric that we get from opponents of school choice. That somehow everything's going to come to an end. It's going to be topsy-turvy. It's ludicrous. We're affecting children at the margins, so we make a better life for them that many people have already and take for granted and are in fine school systems. No one's looking to change what works. It's about changing and improving things that don't work for hundreds of thousands of children across the country that are losing still.
We've got the midterm elections a week from today, and certainly immediately after the midterms, when because that dominates the news cycle. We're going to start focusing on a couple of other things like the USA Workforce Tax Credit Act. People are going to start hearing more and more about that. Can you explain what that is?
Sure. So this is the piece of legislation introduced by Congressman Lloyd Smucker of Pennsylvania. It's got more than 40 co-sponsors, and what it would do two things. It would expand school choice opportunities at the K-12 level through the scholarship tax incentive that I mentioned earlier, A, and B, it would expand tax incentives to invest in workforce development and apprenticeship programs. So it affects really K-12 and those workforce issues that are so in need right now in this country. We have jobs that are going unfilled because we have a skills gap in our workforce, and there's enormous opportunities, particularly for young people, to go into areas of the workforce that are paying well, that are middle-class jobs that require a set of skills, not just kind of computer or technical skills, but in what is known as traditionally blue-collar trades. Those jobs pay well. They are in desperate need. Their average ages are 50 and up. They're aging out, and so these jobs are going to continue to be available, but we don't have the skills in the workforce right now to backfill those jobs. And that's today, and that's going in the future. So we need to get the private sector to invest more in developing a workforce, expanding apprenticeship programs. Some of this has been done incrementally, but we're using the tax code so much more can be accomplished much quicker, and more young people in particular can get the skills they need to fill these jobs right now that are available.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have not focused on anything other than college. That's been the big push for probably a decade now. Got to go to college, and certainly education is wonderful. Right, right.
College is not for everybody.
It is not.
You also look beyond your own family to tell. If you have more than one or two children, you're going to know that's just not for everybody. And there's a big economy out there that needs those trades, and these jobs are middle class and pay really well. And when you need more of something, you're going to pay more for it. But if you don't have the skills, it doesn't matter what you pay, you're not going to be able to fill these positions. And so we've got to do more on the workforce development beyond kind of the Job Corps, government spending approach, which is not always effective. If we get the private sector more bought into this and give them the incentives, the return on investment, we can get a lot more people trained a lot quicker than, this 4-year college track.
All right, I think it's fascinating. Where can people find out more about your organization?
So we have a website for this legislation called usaworkforce.org. usaworkforce.org. It's bill number HR 5153. They'll get information on that bill, HR 5153. Congress is coming back after the election. A lot is on the docket that they're going to get done, we expect, and we want to be part of that. So HR 5153, usaworkforce.org.
All right, and what we'll do is we'll post that on social media so people get more details too, okay?
Okay, Doc. Thanks so much. Right. Great talking to you.
Absolutely. You as well, Peter. Thanks so much. Peter Murphy, Vice President at the Invest in Education Coalition. Again, it's usaworkforce.org, usaworkforce.org. Interesting information. This has to be a focus in the future. We have to get beyond this nonsense of everybody must go to college. I've screamed about this for a decade. It was pretty much Obama's plan. You know why it was their plan? Because they know these are indoctrination centers. That's not hyperbole. I'm not being sensational here. It is absolutely true. Whether by design or whether by happenstance, they are indoctrination centers. It's just you're going to think like we do. 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever years ago, these progressives at colleges and universities would say to the obvious conservative, what was obvious and standard conservatism in America, people coming from rural parts of the U.S. to go to college, and they would say, you've got to expand your mind. You've got to challenge all of those beliefs that you've grown up with.
Right.
And they didn't say because they're wrong. They said, no, you've got to challenge them so you can really learn. That's enlightenment. But now, when a lot of people start with progressive, society is vastly more progressive than it was 60 years ago. They don't say you've got to expand your mind and learn about conservatism, libertarianism as well.
No, of course not.
It's just more progressive.
Yes.
It's just crap. It's just a lie.
Yeah. I didn't go to college. I don't know.
No?
If you can tell.
No.
Me smart already.
Understood. We're going to get some communiques in from Brad Staggs, but first I got to remind you about Save Your Heart. Save Your Heart, and it's SaveYourHeart.com. It's a pretty cool website that is a place where you can go to. Want to take a guess what you can do at Save Your Heart?
I would say save your heart. Be healthier.
Exactly, and that's the key right there. Imagine a world without heart disease, and that is their goal. And they have a couple of different approaches to it, but you can try the supplements that they've put together, and it's specifically and I got to get the name right because I always screw this up. Hang on.
Try not to screw it up.
The Pauling Therapy Essentials formula.
Yes.
Not appalling.
Right. No, it's the Pauling.
Right. The Pauling or PTEF. PTEF formula.
It's right there on their front page.
Yes. It's at Save Your Heart. Just go to SaveYourHeart.com. Now, they are so committed to helping you save your heart that they are also willing to have you call them.
You can call and ask questions?
Yes, exactly. 877-HEART.
Wow. And they'll answer the phone.
Yes, they will. 77-HEART. Now, you know what's shocking about that? There's a business I tried calling the other day. A business, I got the number, and this is the customer service line.
Right.
I dial it, and it goes click, click, where they pick up.
Yeah.
And then.
So annoying.
Now, they didn't say,
hang on.
Welcome, hang on.
Right.
They didn't say in the middle of the music, all of a sudden, thank you for holding. Somebody will be with you momentarily. No,
You are caller 3000.
None of that. It just went to the music. So I'm like, am I in line? Are they on? Is it lunchtime? What's going on? And it just kept going. So I tried calling back. So then I was like, well, I guess I'm on hold. So I'm working. I just left it on hold. 45 minutes later, still nobody.
That's weird.
I started thinking I called some weird Russian company or something, or no, just nothing. That would have been better.
1-800 stay on hold.
Stay on hold. Yeah, where you just stay on hold. That is not what you get at SaveYourHeart.com. You call 800-77-HEART. 800-77-HEART. It's heart treatment that works. It's heart disease treatment and an effective approach to heart disease prevention. And there's the key. Heart disease is one of it's a progressive thing. So it's not like it's 0 or 100. It's not like you're like, I'm absolutely free of heart disease. Oh, damn it, I've got it.
Right.
It's completely over for me.
Right.
It is a slow progressive, gets worse and worse and worse.
So progressive in this case is bad also.
Yes, also bad when it comes to this.
Gotcha.
Progressive jackpots could be good if you win. The only time it's really good.
Right, yes. Yeah.
Right. Or progressive chicks when you meet them out at bars because they're usually morally pretty loose. In this case, though, very bad. Heart disease continues to progress. So you want to prevent it? SaveYourHeart.com or 800-77-HEART. If you have any level of heart disease, you go there. They're going to help you fight heart disease.
That's good.
Yes, it is.
Fighting heart disease is good.
SaveYourHeart.com or 800-77-HEART. 800-77-HEART. They will help you today. Save your heart.
That's very good. Smells like teen statism, says Doc's Law. The speed of a human caravan is inversely proportionate to the volume of the blah, blah, blahs.
It is.
That is very true.
It absolutely is. I mean, come on, the guys. If all of those people had their wives with them, is this going to be an easy trip? You're supposedly walking 2,000 miles over the course of what should be months, but will be a month.
Yeah.
Through the desert.
Come on, people, got to pick it up. Pick it up.
You don't think that's going to be cause for a lot of blah-bitty blah?
It's
I mean, most people can't take a 2-hour weekend getaway drive and
with the family
without the blah-bitty blah.
Right. TJ Toppin says one day this caravan will be taught as the Trail of Turds, but likely left out of most history books like the Trail of Tears.
Can you imagine the passive aggressive nature of the spouses that are along? Because ladies, I know you get it from the husbands. We have our own issues as well. I know we're
for yourself.
I know some husbands, of course, we're excluded here. But some husbands are giving you the business too. You're traveling. You're like, yeah, if only they do. I get you. Can you imagine the passive aggressive nature? All the passive aggressive statements and actions. Because when you're driving and they don't criticize your driving, they just suddenly grab a hold of everything. I'm just changing lane. I saw that car. Did I hit him? Right? Where they just suddenly, and then they just kind of, and you look over at him. I didn't say anything. No,
I didn't say anything.
You're white knuckling it on the dashboard. Relax.
You got both knees pinned to the dash. Yeah. No one's ever seen that happen before. Rockin' Robin says, just doing my part to spread the word that the good old days of free speech aren't dead online. Check out MeWe and Mojo 50.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah, please help spread the word about this platform and MeWe and the partnership we've formed with them, as well as, if you can, donate to our GoFundMe page, and please tell other people about it. It's right at mojo50.com. Ron said he put up a big red stripe or a box or some indicator. Unlike the other things that we tell you about at the website, you'll be able to easily find this.
Big red banner right at the top.
A banner.
Let's see. Oh, look at that.
So it was not a stripe or a bar. It was a banner. Okay, very good.
Back us now on Indiegogo. It says the new voice of radio.
Shannon Bream from Fox News. Are you familiar with her?
Yeah, she's kind of hot.
She's very hot and a nice lady. You ever meet her?
I have not met her.
I've had dinner with her.
Is it, if I really...
I just wanted to name drop. Is that impressive?
I'm impressed.
I was impressed.
I'm very impressed.
We had dinner at a place in Washington, D.C. Washington.
Wow.
I want to say it was Sweet Georgia Browns, like the song.
Well.
We had dinner.
Isn't that the Harlem Globetrotters?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and clean this up and say we had her spouse and her and my wife and I. So, but it sounded like Shannon was into me, right?
Let's edit that part out and just keep going that
way. Yeah. Anyways, very nice lady. She tweeted out yesterday a picture of a school. I believe this is Oak Ridge Elementary School, and I was looking it up. I couldn't find where it is. This is a clipping from like a flyer from Oak Ridge Elementary School. And she mentioned that this flyer lays out when Veterans Day is, what's going on the week of Thanksgiving, the days the kids have off, some other things, when the report cards come out. So a little informative piece there. She mentioned before, well, I'll mention the important part here. 11/28, it says Q1 report cards come out. Okay.
All right.
A note about report cards. In response to our workshop model, all students in grades 3 through 5 will receive an A in all academic subject areas.
Whoa, what?
All students will receive an A in all academic subject areas.
Even the dumbasses?
Even the dumbasses will. It says there's a little double asterisk down there.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the power of I. Remember the power of I program where you just get an incomplete. This is the nobody gets below a 60 and all of this nonsense.
Yes.
If you didn't do the work to get a 50, then you shouldn't get a 50.
Yeah, agreed.
Right.
It diminishes everybody else who did the work.
A lot of them say, Rick, we talked about this just a month or so ago, principal defending that everybody starts with a basic 50, that even if you only scored a 14, and their argument is, well, it's so hard to get them up to the blabbity, and this is ruining. Tell them to do the work or give them the help if they can't do it themselves. You're shirking your duties as an educator for which you are getting paid.
Yes.
Or you are, and you're doing a disservice to the kids.
Yes.
You are.
It's education. Education.
These are the people that also want to educate kids about life and right from wrong and diversity and all of this, but you're not willing to educate them about hard work.
Yeah.
And
life is going to kick you right in the huevos over and over and over.
So I guess this is their plan. Their plan is everybody gets an A. That way nobody's a failure, Brad.
No, there's still some failures in there. They're just disguised failures.
Now, they do mention or question, what if your kid is basically a dumbass?
Okay. And there are those.
It says, if your student is not demonstrating mastery of the grade level expectations for the quarter, he or she will have an asterisk next to their letter grade A.
It'll be tattooed on their forehead. I mean, it's a scarlet letter.
It's a scarlet
Asterisk.
character. Asterisk.
Yeah.
Right.
Come on.
So, Brad, here's what you have here. The do-gooders, in their effort to say, some children don't feel as good if they don't get an A, Brad. Some feel as good if they don't get an A. So we're going to give them all A's, except the ones who don't deserve it, and then we'll give an asterisk.
Which starts with A.
Which becomes the new B, C, D, E, F. That's all this is.
It's
all you're saying is,
stupid.
In an effort to make them feel good, this is the word retarded. We've got to get rid of the word retarded because it has a stigma. Mind you, that was not a slur.
No.
It was not a made-up word. It was an actual word that was used in, you could retard the aging process. You could be retarded in your ability to learn to drive, even though you're brilliant.
You still retard the timing on an engine.
Right. All of these things, it was word. But then people realized, oh, some people were using retarded as a slur. Why? Because we referred to people who are mentally or physically retarded as being retarded. And people thought it was the equivalent of calling somebody the N-word.
Yeah.
No, it was a description. Yes, but it makes me feel bad when you say my child or I am retarded. So let's not call them then that. So what are we going to call it? We've got to ban that word.
Yeah.
Okay, great. What are you going to call them? Well, mentally handicapped until that becomes the new retarded. And then we get, no, it's mentally handicapable and all of this nonsense because you cannot get your own emotions in check.
Yep.
Do you realize I just screamed, get your emotions in check?
Yes, you did.
Anyway.
What you did there.
Very frustrating. So this A with an asterisk will become the new B, C, D, E, F, whatever thing triggers your child. So eventually they'll have to get rid of that.
Well, we'll give you an asterisk. Now, if you didn't do that well, we'll give you a semicolon or perhaps a closed parenthesis.
We'll give you a lowercase a.
Yeah.
Still an A. And then that'll become the new thing.
Yes. That is so asinine.
It is.
I don't. And kids aren't that stupid. They
all know.
Yes, they do.
I get an A. What'd you get?
I got an asterisk.
Ah,
you're retarded.
Bradley's dumb. Bradley's stupid.
It's. They're not. I mean, we're trying to fool the adults.
I will say.
We're not ever fooling the kids.
Exactly. It will be easier to change your grade, I imagine, though. Because you only have to like white out the asterisk.
What's
used to be you had to
what's white out? What's white out?
Erase the asterisk.
You mean backspace?
Backspace the asterisk.
I keep getting this white stuff all over the computer.
I don't understand. It's just not changing it any.
And then I scroll and it's still there.
Years ago, there was a story about teachers who were getting rid of red pens. They were banning red pens. Do you remember that one?
Because it made them feel uncomfortable.
When they marked the kids' paper with red, it was triggering. They were so hurt by it. Well, that's because you got it wrong, dumbass. So then they started changing like green pens or something, which only became the new red. So they had to get rid of the green.
Yes.
Stop it. If you as an educator think kids are being triggered or abused or hurt or injured or mocked because they are getting lesser grades or they have not mastered the language or the curriculum, guess what? You have failed.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, giving them an A does not excuse you from your responsibilities.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. Mojo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Being called Operation Faithful Patriots.
By the end of this week, we will deploy over 5,200 soldiers to the southwest border. That is just the start of this operation. We'll continue to adjust the numbers and inform you of those, but please know that's in addition to the 2,092 that are already employed from our National Guard.
General Terrence O'Shaughnessy at the Pentagon. This deployment comes as thousands of people continue marching north through Mexico, vowing to overrun the border and enter the U.S. illegally. President Trump calls it an invasion of our country. He tells the marchers, our military is waiting for you. Later today, the President and the First Lady will travel to Pittsburgh where they'll pay their respects to those who were killed when a gunman opened fire in a synagogue in the city's Squirrel Hill neighborhood.
The first funerals for the victims are being held today, and Pittsburgh's Democratic mayor says the president should stay away. Others are accusing the president of giving cover to anti-Semites through his rhetoric.
Some individuals, they're grieving, they're hurting.
White House spokeswoman Sarah Sanders says the president's real aim is to help the community grieve, and says he's denounced bigotry in all forms. The accused shooter made his first court appearance yesterday and is being held without bond. Hospital officials told ABC he ranted against Jewish medical staff treating him after police shot him. Sagar Magani, Washington.
The man accused of mailing a series of pipe bombs to high-profile Democrats around the country kept a list of elected officials and others who investigators believe were intended targets. That's what one official has told the AP. The suspect, Cesar Sayoc, has been ordered held without bond pending a Friday court hearing. On Wall Street this morning, Dow futures up 98 points, NASDAQ futures 18 points higher, and S&P futures better by 9. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us. Our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
Doc Thompson, Mojo 50.
Hold the hanging on the wall. Sarah, get me Mount Pilot. Crank phone. Hold it. Stop it right there. There was a tragic event. We need to take some time to give it the proper amount of reverence and respect.
This is probably a good time, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce you to Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Staggs. Thank you. It's an important topic we've got to discuss. Given the seriousness of the deadly incident in question, I knew there was one person and one person only I could go to discuss these dark days in which we live. I want to thank you, Mr. Staggs.
No problem.
Although this is a time of great sadness, I hope you'll understand that my grief and my sorrow has given way to frustration and outrage over such a horrible. I'm not talking about the synagogue in Pittsburgh. I'm talking about full bomb inequality.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us, our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com, use promo code DOC, and get 15% off your purchase. That's neverforgottenapparel.com.
The mothership has landed.
Little bothered that it's not the fathership. Really triggered by that. What about men?
Right?
What about them?
Exactly. They just hate us.
Oh, my gosh.
They hate us.
It's kind of like audio Russian roulette here. My buddy Mike Opalka sent me a little audio clip, but did not identify it.
Uh-oh.
He,
wow, and you're going to...
I'm trying to decide right now. Mike, on Twitter, it's at Stuntbrain because he's a stunt brain. He just sent me a little audio clip.
I double dog dare you.
I don't think I'm going to because Opalka
triple dog dare
in the past has sent me some freaky stuff.
Uh-huh. You're yellow.
Yellow? Am I yellow or am I yellow?
You're yellow.
Or am I yeller?
You're yellow.
So it just says this is fake news. That's all it says.
Do it, Doc. Do it. Do it, Doc. Do it.
What do you think, Ron?
What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Fire you? What are they going to do? Arrest you?
That's a valid question there, Brad. What are we going to do?
What are we going to do?
It's 6 seconds long. And it just says this is fake news. Should I do it?
Dumb MF or C-bomb B.
All right, Ron, keep your finger on the dump button that we don't have. Keep it on the delay, okay? We just dump out of it. All right, where is it here? Okay, let's try this. It just says this is fake news, and I have no idea what it is. This is so. I'm not kidding. I've not heard this. Here we go. This is fake news.
We're going to use the hell out of that.
That's nice. That's very nice.
All right, he got us a good one there.
Yeah, he did.
Dude, Doc was sweating it.
I really was. I was like,
well, you
oh
never know with Opel.
This is fake news.
It sounds like they really got James Earl Jones to do it.
Right.
Too.
That's awesome.
For a
All
price.
right.
For a price, I bet he'd do anything.
I'm not going to tell Mike that I didn't preview that first because he will set me up in the future. He'll know that I'll.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
right?
he will. Yeah. Here's another one.
Communiques now. Brad Staggs has them for you.
1/24th taint asterisk sleeve says the mothership. It's 2018. How dare you assume the ship's gender? That's true.
That's a good point. The nondescript gender mothership has landed. The one of 182 genders, maybe multiple genders, ship has landed.
Exactly. Pink
It's a little
Floyd,
wordy.
do it, Doc. He was just egging you on. Doc did it. TJ Toppin, Doc is a yellow yeller. It's a yellow yeller.
You're yeller, kid. You're yeller.
I see what you did that.
By the way, I never understood why people like that. You're chicken, you're yeller. I was always like, okay.
It's not yeller, it's yellow. You're yellow.
You're yellow.
You're yellow.
Was that a
What is
trigger for you as a kid? Like being cowardice?
I bet it was, but why yellow?
Because Asians are not brave. I think we know that, right?
I don't think that's why. Okay, this coming from the race that gave us kamikazes. That took some cojones to
I don't know why they came up with yellow, but as a kid, did it trigger? Because me, I was always like, okay. I guess I was just stubborn that way. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. You're yellow.
Yellow,
okay.
Yellow is a symbol of betrayal or heresy. It dates back to biblical times when Judas Iscariot was often portrayed in yellow garb, symbolizing his betrayal of Jesus Christ. So it's actually biblical.
So that's betrayal, though. That's not cowardice.
Well, you consider betrayal
You're yellow,
cowardice.
which means you're full of betrayal.
More recently, Jews in Nazi Germany forced to wear yellow stars of David on their clothing, but that again wouldn't be cowardice. Other associations with yellow have not enhanced the color's reputation. Jaundice. You're jaundice.
Yeah, I just never got that. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm not doing that. Whatever. By the way, you absolutely could challenge me with things, but it was not based on being cowardice. It was just like, ooh, this is titillating.
It was how much money you could make off.
Right, exactly. So.
Kids learn jumping off the roof with a sheet for a parachute. Bad idea, says Mo Lynch over on MeWe. Yes. Who didn't jump off of some high platform, flapping your hands, thinking you could fly? You never did. I guess I was the only one.
Perhaps we move on. Let's just move on.
Did I mention I didn't go to college?
Julia Loffe. L-O-F-F-E.
Lafay. I think it's French. Lafay.
I'm going to go with that. From GQ. You probably don't know the name, but you may remember her story just a little bit. I'll get to that backstory or her backstory in just a moment. But here's what you need to know now. She is a reporter, news writer, journalist for GQ who reports on topical current events like politics.
Alrighty.
At GQ.
Well, I was going to say, whenever I want some really stiff,
hard-hitting news and political commentary,
I go to
you
GQ.
go to Gentleman's Quarterly.
Yes, absolutely.
And also whether or not loafers will be back next season.
Yes, yeah. Well, it's one-stop shopping.
So, yeah,
Literally.
Such a failure there. Anyways, she's on the CNN. You're familiar with the CNN, right?
The CNN.
This is fake news. She's on the CNN with the Jake Tapper, right? Tapper, and she had some interesting comments on President Trump in light of what happened over the weekend, what with the synagogue massacre in Pittsburgh. And here's what this woman had to say. Here she is.
You know, this president, one of the things that he really launched his presidential run on is talking about Islamic radicalization. And this president has radicalized so many more people than ISIS ever did. I mean, the way he talks, the way he
That's just it's
the way he talks.
Okay, hold on. So there she is making that statement that President Trump has radicalized more people than ISIS has.
That is.
Meanwhile, Jake Tapper and everybody else in the room, -1 is like, yes, radicalized Trump, yes, more than ISIS, because Trump equals bad, ISIS bad. The two of them must be together. He's worse than ISIS, though, right?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, except Dave Irvin, who is a conservative commentator, and I don't know much about him, but Dave Irvin's like, excuse me, I'm going to have to object to that. Fortunately, because Jake and nobody else at CNN will actually object to it. Here's their exchange. It gets better. Here it is.
Launched his presidential run on is talking about Islamic radicalization, and this president has radicalized so many more people than ISIS ever did. I mean, the way he talks, the way he talks, the way that he allows these people, the way he winks and nods to these groups, the way he says, I know I'm not supposed to say it, but I'm a nationalist, the way that he hems and haws when he has to condemn these people and kind of gritting his teeth, kind of says, fine, okay, I condemn this, but then, you know, and all
Jake,
his...
for you not to push back on that.
You're about to push back. I'm about to bring
irresponsible for her to say.
Now, hold on a second. So he looks at Jake Tapper and goes, for you not to call that out,
right.
This is not something, by the way, for the other commentators to call out. I mean, they can. I'm not saying that. But this is something Jake Tapper himself many times has said, hold on a second, you've gone, that's just nutty. But he didn't on that President Trump has radicalized more people than ISIS.
Right.
That even if you have a broad definition of radicalized.
Well, look at the bomber. Look at the bomber. Look at the synagogue. Look at the murder at the synagogue. That's what she's trying to.
Right. That's what she's trying to say. But you have to say, okay, even if your definition of radicalized is people who have taken to the streets in favor of Trump,
right?
You would have to say people have taken to the streets to oppose Trump, or people on the left or Democrats, or to support Obama or whoever. Okay. And if your broad definition is Trump's people are radicalized as well, you still don't draw a difference between what ISIS does and Trump's supporters.
It's ludicrous. It's absolutely shameful.
Okay. You think Trump supporters are responsible for the synagogue, which that is not the case.
No.
Responsible for the fake bombings that didn't kill anybody.
Right. Made good headlines.
All right. Fine. ISIS has taken over entire regions, enslaved, tortured, and murdered.
Yeah.
That even if some people, even if she's right, in that some Trump supporters have done outrageous, reprehensible things, do the numbers bear out?
No, of course not.
If you have a couple of people who've done the most outrageous things because they support Trump, not that he has necessarily done anything to get them to that point. Likely, if you're willing to do these things, you are crazy. But he has radicalized more people. And Jake Tapper, So finally, Dave Urban calls him out.
And condemn these people and kind of gritting his teeth, kind of says, fine, okay, I condemn this, but then, you know, and all
Jake,
his...
for you not to push back on that.
You're about to push back. I'm about to bring
That's irresponsible. For her to say that the President of the United States has radicalized more people than ISIS is irresponsible.
Okay, you disagree with it. I'm bringing you in, Mona. It's a contradiction.
Okay, so you disagree with that. I'm bringing you in. The mistake was for him, Dave, to not say, Jake, what are your thoughts on this? Because other times you've called people out. You're going to let that slide without being challenged? And when he said you're about to, no, Jake, this is you're going to let something that outrageous. See, here's the point. Aside from what I just pointed out, the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, which is a human rights campaign in the UK, not really a right-wing group. In the UK, human rights reports that ISIS has 50,000 fighters in Syria, 30,000 fighters in Iraq, 80,000 radical people who are committing those level of crimes every day. All of them are actively a part of murder, torture, all of that.
well, there's at least that many people in this country who, have been radicalized by the president, and they haven't acted yet, but there's that many people.
All right, it gets better. Here we go.
Irresponsible because it's not true. It's factually not true. You can, based upon what? How many camps have you got into and interrogated ISIS folks? Do you know?
ISIS,
what do you base it upon? What do you base it upon?
ISIS had like 10,000 members. I think the president has far more supporters who espouse an equally hateful ideology.
Equally hateful ideology. Yes, there are some crazy people who support Trump. Trump has more supporters that espouse an equally hate-filled whatever ideology.
Right.
As ISIS. The people of America who support Trump, who just believe in personal freedom, who does not believe in your progressive agenda, is an equally hateful ideology as ISIS. This woman is so irretrievably stupid. This is beyond a progressive ideology or misinformed. This woman is brain damaged.
And who is this? What's her name?
Her Julia Lofey,
Oh, that's right.
whatever.
Lofey, yeah.
She is beyond just being progressive. CNN has her on the air commenting on this stuff. When she is this, dude, she may be mentally ill. They may need to just, Jake, we're going to take a break here. Get security up here. Tell them to bring the straitjacket and call the paramedics to come in. She needs to go away and be incarcerated in a mental facility for a long, long time.
She's
They should be in Jake's ear going, "Don't worry, we've called security. They're gonna go ahead and round her up."
Apparently, she also does work for The Atlantic.
Oh, I'll tell you about that in a moment. Touch more though, as he says. You're right. What is your basing that on? Where are you basing that on? Right? Have you been there? You're just spewing this crap, and CNN is not calling you out. Here we go.
ISIS folks, do you know?
ISIS,
what do you base it upon? What do you base it upon?
ISIS had like 10,000 members. I think the president has far more supporters who espouse an equally hateful ideology that dehumanizes other people.
And Simone, listen, and Jake, you raised this on TV the other day.
Yeah.
You raised this yesterday. When Louis Farrakhan sat next to Bill Clinton the other day, where was the outrage?
Okay, now that's a really solid point, right? An equally hate-filled ideology. What was the topic? It's the Pittsburgh Synagogue Massacre.
Right.
She busts out, President Trump is responsible. He's radicalized more people. This has nothing to do with Trump. Again, that guy had nothing to do with it. This was a person, an individual who murdered multiple people at a religious service. That's what happened here. She's blaming the president directly or indirectly because he's radicalized more people. Let's not even talk about the synagogue. Trump and what he's done is far worse, is what she said.
Yeah.
He pauses, challenges her on it, and says, where were you guys calling out Bill Clinton for palling around with Louis Farrakhan, who just weeks ago compared Jews to termites?
Right. The hypocrisy
is that valid, Brad? Is it what he said? Is that a valid?
Yes.
Is it a stretch to bring up Louis Farrakhan and Democrats?
No,
at that point?
if you're going to point out the hypocrisy or the no, it is not. It's not a stretch.
It's a greater stretch to bring up Trump and the synagogue than it is to bring up Farrakhan and Clinton when bringing up Trump about the synagogue and hate. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Far bigger. He brings that up. Simone Sanders, who was the spokesperson for I think was it Bernie Sanders campaign? I think she was a spokesperson for Bernie Sanders camp. Anyways, a progressive commentator. She, during this whole exchange, is sitting there and given the is it pursed lips? Looking over, trying not to look in his direction and listen to just Julia because he's obvious. She's just When he says that about Farrakhan, she goes off.
The other day. Yeah. You raised this yesterday. When Louis Farrakhan sat next to Bill Clinton the other day, where was the outrage? Where was the outrage in the Jewish community?
Bill Clinton is not
Where's
the
the outrage?
president of the United States.
Where was the outrage?
Hold on.
up now. What does Louis Farrakhan have to do with me? This is craziness.
I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you, Simone. I'm talking about the Democratic Party.
I really believe that we should be able to have
I
really believe that we should be able to have a conversation and get to the root of the issue. And the root of the issue is if the president of the United States has aligned himself with white nationalists, with the national, he called himself a nationalist. He has aligned himself with neo-Nazis.
Okay.
Wow.
So there she is. This is craziness to bring up Farrakhan and Clinton. But it's not crazy. Simone, sweetheart, you're nuts. You cannot simply call Trump these things without holding other people to the same standard. You're mentally deranged. Either you know what you're doing, and this is all part of the blue wave agenda midterms and what else, and that is reprehensible to play politics there, or you are mentally deranged. You are mentally unstable at this point. You are not capable of functioning in society if you're going to do these things. Now, they go about 40 minutes with more blah, blah, blah. Still nothing from CNN.
Right.
They don't comment, say, hey, maybe you shouldn't have said these things, done these things. You're factually inaccurate. None of those. Simone goes off. They just beat up on Dave a little bit. Jake Tapper is the useful idiot here. And then they come back from a break and clean up her mess. They don't offer an apology. He called it house cleaning. Listen. Whoops, hang on. Here we go. Jake Tapper. Here we go.
A little house cleaning, because for you, the Republican National Committee is jumping on your comment. You earlier in the show said that Donald Trump has radicalized more people than ISIS has. David and Mona disagreed with you strongly. It's something you wanted to clarify.
I do.
So the people start posting on social media, this is ridiculous. Call them out. It's factually inaccurate. CNN doesn't say, hey, you made a factual, an inaccurate statement. It was not based in fact. And we're going to call you on this. We're going to do our... No. The Republican National Committee they're calling you out, those crazy people. So we'll do some house cleaning and let you comment on your mistake when it should have been admit your mistake and apologize. It was not. Here's her house cleaning.
To clarify, I think I spoke in the heat of the moment. This has been a very emotional and personally painful time for me. I think I exaggerated, and I apologize for that. But the point I was trying ham-fisted...
Hold on a second. So I spoke in the heat of the moment. He challenged her on it. She pushed back. So did the other woman. Instead of saying, you're right about that, let me try to make my point another way. No, didn't do it. 40 minutes after being called out, 40 minutes when CNN says you must clean up this mess, she then says, I apologize. I was just over emotional, and got a pass for being over emotional. Meanwhile, President Trump, his supporters, anybody else out there on the right that has not murdered people do not get a pass when they're emotional or passionate about a topic.
Right. No.
Okay. Got you. Then immediately following her, I apologize for it. Not, I'm sorry, but she does this. She really doubles down.
To make is that it's not a coincidence that, according to the ADL, the number of anti-Semitic attacks has jumped by nearly 60% in the first year that Donald Trump was in office. And it's no coincidence because even though the main danger is homegrown right-wing extremists, as many studies have pointed out, this administration has methodically shifted resources away from monitoring those people, away from trying to control those people.
And CNN did not then call her out on that inaccuracy. Yes, there are many stats. I mean, that was the lie of omission. Many studies have said, right-wing radicalism, whatever, that's the homegrown right-wing, sure. Many have said it's also international. Many have said it's left-wing domestic. Look at Antifa. That's not an issue. Where the study she's citing there, the many, are ones from progressive groups as well.
The irony of this whole thing, you know what she started her career as?
What's that?
Are you going to get?
Go ahead.
She was a fact checker for the New Yorker.
Yes. And do you know the rest of her career?
Oh, I've got it here in front of me, but yeah.
In December of 2016, after President Trump was elected, and he was President-elect Trump before he was inaugurated, December 14th, 2016, she tweeted out, either Trump is effing his daughter or he is shirking nepotism laws, which is worse. Do you remember that now?
I do. I remember the comment about
She was working for Politico at the time. Either he is effing his daughter or he is shirking nepotism laws, which is worse. Number one, he is not shirking nepotism laws by hiring his daughter. He absolutely did not do that.
Right. Yeah, as a matter of fact, he didn't he want to. He said Ivanka would be the best person to fill the ambassador position to the UN, but he didn't want to do that because of he feared nepotism.
Yeah.
So no, so she was inaccurate in that, and no, he's not boffing his daughter.
But it was so heated that Politico fired her for that. She then doubles down after they do that and puts, "We have a president-elect who popularized saying what everyone is thinking," in quotes. In other words, that's what everyone said about him. But I guess my phrasing should have been more delicate about effing his daughter.
Wow.
By the way, to answer your question, effing your daughter is worse than nepotism, just so you know.
Yeah, yes. To clarify, just to
incest, you don't need to ask that question. Right. You don't know that, Julia? You really don't understand that?
Yeah.
Suggesting this.
Deeper issues.
Right. So she's the one who brought that up out of nowhere. There was the question of nepotism by some who were just primarily Trump haters. Mm-hmm. Okay. But you brought up sleeping with your daughter, having sex with him.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, because you obviously are not smart enough, incest worse than nepotism.
Yeah.
I can't believe we need to clarify that for you, Julia, but
welcome to 2018.
We'll go ahead and clarify it for you. It is, in fact, worse. So there you go.
Can you imagine this sort of thing? These sorts of comments, this sort of political discussion happening when our parents were around? I mean, you just didn't see this sort of discourse.
No, and this is the craziness. We're mentally, I mean, this is the reason mental health in America, I think this is a lot of the problems. We've seen it with these massacres and that. There is a mental health problem in America. I don't know if it's the fluoride's turning the frogs gay.
Right.
I don't know if it's chemtrails. I don't know what it is, but we're crazy. Maybe social media. Maybe we're just aware of the crazy now. I don't know.
I think that must be it. It's on full public display now.
A woman wielding a kitchen knife attacked 14 kids at a kindergarten in central China. Slashed them all up. Kids were walking back to class after morning exercises. She just attacked them, cut them all up. You didn't hear anything about that because it wasn't a gun.
Wow.
By the way, an update on the crazy anti-gun people or whatever. The Connecticut Supreme Court just ruled yesterday, 5-0, that the state police must release the disturbing writings and other belongings of Adam Lanza. That's the guy who shot up the school in Sandy Hook.
Yeah, that's right.
And he killed 20 children and 6 adults.
Right.
Horrible. He has writings and a bunch of other crazy things. There was a challenge based on Freedom of Information Act that people wanted. I think it was a newspaper wanted the writings in that, and a lower court refused to hand them over.
What did they not want us to know?
I don't know.
But this will be fascinating, won't it?
We don't know when it's coming out, but they have ruled it must be turned over to the public.
Wow.
Are you tired of the bar scene? Tired of trying to meet people that maybe you just don't know? I'll tell you what, I'm a classic example of online dating. I met my beautiful wife online on a dating platform, and you can too. Check out wethepeople.dating. There's a better way for all of you single guys and you ladies out there. You know what? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of a partner ought to be your #1 goal, just like the Constitution. They make it easy to find a liberty-minded match, and it takes less than a minute to create a free account and begin browsing through over 11 million monthly subscribers. Look, if you're looking for someone, you don't have any time, you've got a computer, you've got an internet, you can start browsing wethepeople.dating. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of a partner shouldn't be a mantra, it should be a goal. For the love of people and people of love. Listen to Matt Locke. Check out wethepeople.dating.
We've arrived.
What do you mean?
We've hit the big time.
What are you talking about?
I didn't tell you. We're live on Mojo 50 now.
Oh, that. I could have sworn they were just pulling a fast one on us.
Either that or someone at the top has had a mild stroke. Regardless, we now have to make a promo.
Okay, well, that seems simple enough. How long does this have to be?
I was told that we need to take about 60 seconds or so and tell everyone about ourselves.
All right. I was born in a blizzard in the bleak hours of the morning in November.
No, I don't think we need to go back quite that far.
All right, then. I'm Steven.
And I'm Dylan, and we're hosts of the Defenders of American Exceptionalism,
or DOAE show for short.
And we are live Wednesdays and Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern on Mojo 50.
We go through the politics of today and how it affects the culture and vice versa. And we try to bring it back to the Constitution and the principles above privilege.
You know, I feel like there should be a shirt made with that on it.
Yeah, we already have that.
Oh, so don't forget to check us out. Defenders of American Exceptionalism live Wednesdays and Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern on Mojo 50.
Communiques now. We welcome your communiques. If you use the hashtag What I Learned Today. Ron Phillips. Is it Phillips? Did I get that?
You did. Wow.
It seems so weird.
Have you been drinking?
I don't know. It just seemed weird when I was like,
wow,
Phillips.
That's
like the screwdriver.
Yeah. Just like the screwdriver.
Right. Okay.
Just like this. Just remember that.
Just like a screwdriver.
Bob Loblaw.
Love the Bob Loblaw.
Says Julie LaFay and CNN are the dum-dums of Halloween candy. That is, I don't believe we could have put it any better ourselves.
Dum-dums made in the same city, the same small town as Etch-a-Sketch, I believe.
Wow.
Both of them, Bryan, Ohio.
You are
small little nowhere out in western and northwestern Ohio.
Oh, by the way, someone over on Facebook, who was it? That was a candy corn, elephant man. No, but it was about the being called yellow. It stems back to having a yellow liver. Tracy, Bradshaw McClure from yellow liver equals weak. That's why you call people yellow. You're yellow.
Who said that?
Tracy Bradshaw McClure over on Facebook.
Is that a woman or a man? Because that's one of those unisex names.
That's a really
not as much anymore.
It's without the E in Tracy, so I'm guessing it's a woman.
Yeah, then we can't trust it.
That's true. Yeah, that's one of the rules here on the program.
Yeah, if it was a man, you could take her word for it or his word for it.
Otherwise, we're going to have to fact.
Now, does she identify a man? Then we got to take the word in today's world.
That's a very good point.
I mean, you identify as a man, you automatically get smarter, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's absolutely true. See, Deuce 5 with a tainted asterisk.
Wow.
There goes Doc Thompson's show again, expecting intellectual honesty.
Thank you.
From CNN.
Yep.
This is fake news.
I mean, wouldn't you just get tired of like playing that game?
It seems exhausting. Yes, it seems exhausting when you have to connect points that don't connect.
Right.
It's really, when you're trying to stretch, it takes energy to make that big a stretch.
I couldn't live that life.
No.
I couldn't be that. Wow.
It's so much easier, and I think that's why we get it right, is because we're lazy, and it's so much easier just to point out the hypocrisy.
Right. It's out of exhaustion. If I wanted to be the propagandist, I couldn't. I'm just like, you know what? It's so tired.
This is how it is.
No, it's like this.
Look, this is so painfully obvious. Just look at it for what it is. It comes from a position of laziness.
Can you imagine me like the PR person for, like, I don't know, a product, bagged salad or bagged lettuce?
Right.
And you're the PR person. They're like, 4,200 people killed in the Midwest from tainted lettuce from this kind. And you're like, no, we absolutely. No. And you're, come on, just like, oh, I'm so lying here.
Yeah.
I got to do this, and it's my job to lie.
Yeah.
You know?
Lying is just, it gets exhausting after a while. You just don't want to put in the energy. Julia LaFay gets a 10 from the Russian judge for her mental gymnastics in blaming Trump for the synagogue shooting done by a Trump hater. That according to Suspicious Backyard Packages.
Yes, that's right. CombatFlipFlops.com is where you can get flip-flops and all kinds of other cool products as well, and do a little bit of good in the world. It's very simple. CombatFlipFlops.com. Here's how it works. When you purchase things, they give some of that money to help people around the world, people in America, people other countries. The campaign they've been working on recently is one that will help women and girls in Afghanistan become educated so they can take their country back, so they can finally have a voice and stop being ruled by warlords and dictators. That's what we should really be doing.
Wow. When you lay it out like that, it makes a lot of sense.
Well, no, I mean, we give money away, and it's pissed me off for years that we give money to our friends that really hate us as well. They just hate us less than the other people.
Yeah, and then the fact that we're giving money away that we don't have to begin with.
Right. Egypt didn't love us for years back when, ran, and then he died a few years ago. He just was better because we paid him than other people.
Yeah.
Stop it. Help, if you want to give money, help people help themselves. And when it comes to people in the Middle East, especially women, it's about educating them. That's the reason they didn't want them to be educated, because they get educated, they start having a voice in things.
Yep.
They start running things.
Yep.
That's the reason, many years ago, centuries ago, they wouldn't allow the populace to be educated, because then they would rise up and fight against the totalitarian. Help out by going to combatflipflops.com. When you purchase something, a couple of bucks goes to educate those women. As opposed to just giving them money, you're teaching them. They're learning. And it becomes a problem that we don't have to deal with in the future. It's really simple. Combatflipflops.com. Joining us now, Stephen F. Fox from Stephen F. Fox Photography. Stephen, how are you, sir?
How you doing, Doc?
Amazing that your parents had the foresight to name you Stephen F. Fox, knowing that someday you would own Stephen F. Fox Photography. Very wise parents.
They were ahead of their time, that's for sure. Ahead of their time, that's for sure.
So this is our Building America segment. We still don't have the big, cool open for it. We will eventually. Spotlighting a business owner, and that would be Stephen F. Fox. Tell us about your business, Stephen.
Well, Doc, I do commercial photography, specializing in food and product shots. And we also do some family and some high school seniors, but we're mainly specializing in, like I said, realty, food, and product shots. So what we offer is we offer a great service at a reasonable price. And the beautiful part about what we offer, too, is that let's say you have your DM and you need product shots, and you want a like-minded person that is a libertarian and loves your product as well. So you send me your product, we talk about what you want, we video chat as we're shooting it, and then I get you some great images and send them back to you.
I hadn't thought about that. When you first started talking about what you do, I was like, okay, great. So people in your community, if it's a house or something, you're right there. But, if I have a company in Southern California or something and I want to hire you, you'd have to, well, no, if I have a product, I can just send you some of the product and you can photograph it at your house.
You just mail it to me. I set up video chat through my iPad. You see what we're doing as we're doing it. We come up with some great images, and you get some great stuff to advertise your products with.
Stephen, we should not need your services today, what with all the technology, but we really need your services more than ever. So here's my take on what's happened. Yeah, we have technology, and we can now take better photos, and we can edit them ourselves and do all this stuff. The problem is, the world has become more competitive with that stuff, so we're back to needing professionals to take these pictures of products.
Yeah, yes, and especially when it comes to like food photography. It's hard to get great images when you're trying to photograph food. You can do some nice stuff with your iPhones, and you can get some great pictures, but unless you've been trained and really know how to seek out that light and reflect that light back in, you're not going to get great stuff. And that's one of the biggest passions that I have is with lighting, especially with food, is you can't overlight it, and you have to make it look beautiful. And I think I can do that, and I've done that on my website and give some great images.
I've always likened it to anybody can go to the store. You can all go down to the Art Mart here, and you can buy brushes, and you can buy a canvas, and you can buy paint. But what a good artist will come up with, as opposed to what like Doc would come up with when they applied all of those things together.
Artist, then.
Yeah.
Good versus great.
Is completely different. So you can go out and buy the best camera, and a lot of people think that they can do this, that they can go out and buy a great camera. I can take my own product shots. I can do it myself because I can just go get a camera. But it's the talent in using the tools. That's what makes the photography great.
I have learned how necessary these things are because I have an Asian wife. She takes a lot of pictures.
Yeah,
takes a lot of pictures. Stephen, it's funny when you first reached out and said, "Hey, I'd like to be on a Building America," because we put all kinds of people on, right? Small businesses, big businesses, people are starting a business, people been in a while, listeners, other companies, some that are clients already. Stephen reached out and said, "Hey, I'd like to be on," and I was like, "Okay, set this up." And I saw Stephen F. Fox Photography. I just assumed he's a photographer for weddings, whatever else. I hadn't even imagined that he would be talking about specific products, and even more specifically, food products, because I know a guy who may need your services down the road. Guy named Chef Patrick. See, we have a food platform, Stephen, that we're starting over at Spoonie.com, and we're going to need some pictures taken, so we may have to work something out with you.
We'll need an official
Might have
photographer.
to work something out. Yes, I can come down to the event on Black Friday. We can do some stuff for you guys as well.
Actually, that's not a bad plan. Yeah, we've talked about this, and probably 2 weeks ago, Patrick and I were talking about we have a plan for some content as we build the website out, because right now this platform and Spoonie.com are both 24-hour live audio stream with some video, and it will grow in every other area. And Patrick and I have this really cool idea, but it's going to require amazing pictures being taken of some products. And we're like, well, that could be difficult because we don't take amazing pictures. Oh, well, we'll get to this someday. And here you are, Stephen.
Well, we can definitely do that. And the other beautiful part about what we offer as well is that we also started doing drone video this last year.
Oh, cool.
So, I've put it on my Twitter feed and my MeWe page, put a couple of videos we've shot on there for a landscaping company. And so we can also do drone. We're adding full production video in the next year.
Wow, taking videos of drones flying in the sky that's got to be really valuable.
I think he means he uses the drone to take images of things.
Oh, well, that seems even more valuable then. That seems better.
Much better.
Have you gotten a lot of call for that yet? Because I imagine that's really popular.
It's picking up. It's picking up. It's a new industry. It's a new way to build content for people on their website. I have one company called Blue Ridge Landscaping out of Holland, Michigan that I've been doing a lot of work for as well. I've been doing all the drone stuff for them, really. And we're building content for their website so that their website's more noticeable, because Google likes video more than it likes stills. So we've switched over from doing all stills for them to all video content.
Are you in Michigan?
So it's picking up through them. Yeah.
Are you?
I'm out of Holland, Michigan. Actually, I'm sorry, go on.
You're more western part of the state, is that right? Over by Grand Rapids area? Okay.
Yep, West Michigan by Grand Rapids. In fact, I had lunch with Bruce from Illinois Mattress yesterday.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, good people over there. I didn't realize.
Yeah, I know him. He's a great guy.
The reason I asked, you're talking about drone footage and that, I stumbled across a site a few years ago that has drone footage of flying through and around and over ruins of old factories in Detroit.
Oh, cool.
And there's this phenomena that has popped up. It's called ruins porn.
Yeah.
It is spectacular. If you get high quality video shot of these ruins, it's like a movie. It's amazingly compelling just flying through that stuff. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I've seen it. Actually, before they closed it off, when I lived in Detroit, we used to go into the old train station and do a bunch of photos in there.
That building is amazing, isn't it?
Oh, that building is gorgeous. We loved going in that building. I mean, it was totally wrong. We shouldn't have done it. We got kicked out several times, but it was great to go in there and do photography. It was a lot of fun.
It's funny because I didn't realize you did drones when I first looked up your website, and a couple months back I had an idea for some drone use, and I was like, well, we'll get to it someday. Wow, this is shaping up to be a pretty good day. All right, so tell people, first of all, where they can find you.
You can find me at www.stephenffox.com or on Instagram at StephenFoxOfficial and MeWe. I just posted on both MeWe and Twitter. I posted links to all my pages.
You mean you hang out with those communists over on MeWe? How could you possibly do that?
Sorry, fascists on MeWe.
Yeah.
That too.
So what we'll do is we'll retweet your stuff, post it on social media so people can find you.
Thank you, Doc. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate the opportunity to be on, and what you do for businesses is really great. Thank you
I appreciate it. Make sure to check in on Black Friday. So let's talk a little bit more about starting a business as well, because it's a challenge that we have only recently become aware of how challenging it is. It's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it's hard. It's hard to stick with it at the times where you're not making any money or you have to go find another job because this one isn't as busy as you want it to be. But it's so rewarding when you can give a client a product that they're so excited to put up on their website or do that. That's the rewarding part. You know, it's hard to stick with it sometimes. I've been doing this on and off for 20 years, and it's frustrating at times, and you just have to stick with it. Now, I'm extremely blessed to have a wife that is incredibly encouraging and keeps pushing me at this.
What's that
so
like?
That's one thing that I.
What is that? That sounds amazing.
She wants. I think she wants to pay the bills more than anything else. But
yeah, I understand that. But the
great.
encouraging part, that's seems wow, it's
having just having that encouragement has been a wonderful part too. But it's sticking with it. It's finding an industry that you have a passion for, that you want to keep going, that wants to drive you to do what you're doing. And for me, it's been photography and now video, and it's been a fun ride.
This could be a really good opportunity for other people in our audience who have products, services where they're looking for a photographer and haven't realized, how they should go about getting high quality photos, or do you trust the people or whatever. Well, you got a member of our community here who's been doing this a long time, somebody you can trust. So this could be a good opportunity. Maybe you'll find some business within just this little community of people who, are starting businesses or have products or services they're trying to advertise.
That'd be great. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, sir. So what advice do you give anybody that's getting ready to start a business or has already started one but is like, oh my gosh, I need help? What do you tell them?
Reach out to your friends that do it. Reach out to people on air. I talked to Patrick once or twice about what I'm doing and consult with him. I've talked to Bruce about business. Finding people that do what you do or do something similar, or even just run a business and pick their brain, talk to them, get the encouragement from there. Always do the best job you can. I mean, if you're not doing a great job, then you need to redo it. Or, I forget what rule it is, come clean, always come clean. If you're not doing what you should do, you need to do it right and service your client as if they're your only client.
Awesome. Stephen F. Fox from Stephen F. Fox Photography. Give us that website again.
StephenFFox.com.
Excellent.
And by the way, is that Stephen with a V or a PH?
V.
Oh, the manly one. Okay, good. Yes. Okay, good. That's the easy one.
That's
all right. All right. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it, buddy. Have a great day.
Have a great day, guys. Thank you very much.
StephenFFox.com. Stephen with a V. Well, I mean, come on. We all think that. I mean, it's like when it's a guy named Sean and it's SHAW. Aren't you like a little like?
Yeah.
I mean,
they're just their hands are too soft.
Right. So there was this girl in Cleveland that I worked with years ago, and me and a buddy used to give her the business.
Not one of the Poltitsky twins.
No, and it was not. They're the Candy cousins, Candy Poltitsky and Candy Quagliata.
That's what I said.
Okay, and the girl was she was so nice and simple. I really liked her and simple.
Those are the best ones to date.
And she just kept being slickered in by the wrong dudes. And so we'd always give her advice. And then she told us excited one day meeting this guy. And we're like, what's his name? His name's Sean. And I go, how's he spell that? SHAWN. And we're both like, oh well.
What are you trying to tell me?
And from then on, she dated him a couple months. We referred to him Sean with an HAW.
By the way, Mojo Jedi, I think, nailed it. I feel like Doc is angling for some free headshot photos.
Don't say it. I'm letting him figure it out himself.
I'm just saying.
And it's not headshot. No one wants to see this mug. It's free food pictures over at Spoonie. I got a site to build over there.
That's
we have this crazy clever idea about media and a next step of media evolution that people are not yet getting. I mean, it's so wonderfully simple, and I could use his help.
Okay. It's going to revolutionize the industry.
It will revolutionize, and people won't even know it.
I'm anxious to know your plans for the drones.
Oh, so I have a couple things for the drones or whatever. But have you seen the ruins porn? It kind of borders on that.
No, I haven't, but I've seen it.
Dude, I don't know. Am I the only one who is fascinated by like old factories and buildings and stuff that are kind of falling?
No, I had a friend of mine, and he may still be putting this together. Carl, called urban archaeology.
Yeah,
and it was just the old. If you see an old set of steps going somewhere, where did on a street?
Oh yeah.
Okay, what was there? What was the building?
That's cool.
That whole
but
sort of
there's
thing.
a website. I think it's still up called deadmalls.com.
Yes,
the old malls, and you got all the pictures of people kind of illegally breaking in England.
I haven't seen that. I'm all about that drone stuff. I've got a really nice drone myself. Got my FCC license for it.
I've seen
everything.
your drone.
I love flying that thing.
Yeah,
it is beautiful.
So people fly, and it's got to be high quality for this stuff, and they fly
4K.
through these factories and stuff, and it is. I don't know why it's so compelling. I mean, I like architecture.
It's an
anyways.
angle that the eye doesn't see all the time.
Maybe that's what it is for the high stuff.
Which is ironic coming from Ron.
Shut up.
It's our wonky eye in the sky.
I'm using that.
Plus, you need the high quality drone to get the really good boob shots in backyards.
Exactly.
You don't want to get that fuzzy stuff where you go, wow, she looks hot.
All right. I think that we've accomplished everything we need to accomplish, except this. Here we go.
What do you mean it's last call?
All righty. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. The end of your Daily Mojo. But before we go, as always, let's find out what we learned today. We learned that, yes, incest is worse than nepotism. I'm shocked we had to learn that today, but hey, it's a brave new world.
Yes,
incest is, in fact, worse than nepotism. We learned we at Steve's House of Crabs Be Gone Ointments support civil discourse just like Claire McCaskill. We do.
It's amazing. Yes, it really is.
We learned leaving a deposit on the subway is the masturbatory equivalent of the triple Lutz. We learned candy corn is so bad, I used to hope for pins and razor blades. And finally, we learned again that CNN is, in fact, fake news.
Yes.
We learned it, and by the way, we can also prove that it is, in fact, fake news, right? This is fake news. Their new ID.
Yes.
Brad Staggs, what, if anything, did you learn today?
Well, I learned that the Mexican caravan needs a lift. If you have a minivan or other high-capacity vehicle, please call 800 Vamos to America. Call them today. I also learned the caravan obviously has very few women walking, evidenced by the fact they are making progress and not stopping every 10 feet.
That looks like a clean place to stop.
It really does. Why can't we stop here? I have to go to the bathroom. I learned that Claire McCaskill will fight for you and me, and I shall vote for her in the upcoming election.
Did
Bob.
you say Claire McCaskill?
She's not one of the crazy Democrats?
She's not one of the crazy Democrats. Wow, what is her name and website again?
I need to write that down one more time, just for me. I learned that Doc preferred an infected needle in his pumpkin to getting candy corn at Halloween.
Absolutely. At least it's a story.
Yes.
Candy corn's just sad.
Really
hey, kids,
is.
I got you candy. Hooray, corn.
Oh. I learned with fact checkers like Julia LaFay, who needs enemies?
Right.
And I also learned that we're too lazy here to be hypocrites and liars. It just is
so much work.
So much
I don't
effort.
like it.
It really is, yes.
What, if anything, did the listeners learn today?
Well, Black Suit Larky Farkin learned apologies only matter if you're a Democrat.
Let me think. Yes, you're right. That's absolutely right. Good point.
Suspicious Backyard Packages learned Trump may have radicalized more people than ISIS, but he hasn't jackholized more people than Doc and Brad.
Thank you. Thank you for giving us the credit we deserve.
Does get a retweet on that one. Pause tainted jackhole. Wow. Learned that forget colored pens. Let's bring back rulers across knuckles when students screw up.
Excuse me. That tweet again?
Or
comment again?
Forget colored pens.
No.
Oh, that's true. Sorry.
Pens of color.
I apologize. Let me take this moment to apologize for the comments I made in misquoting a tweet this morning on your Daily Mojo. I truly regret
I'm sorry, Brad.
any comment.
We're going to have to suspend you.
Without pay?
Without pay for 21 hours. You'll then be welcomed back after 21 hours.
So pretty much it's another day like yesterday.
Right. Yeah. You'll still not get paid when you are back.
Yes.
But 21-hour on-air suspension. Okay?
I can go take a nap. That's good. Thank you. I appreciate
No, you still have off-air duties.
Oh.
You got another studio to build in there. You got Spoonie.
I knew there was something I was missing. Donna learned it's not that the child cannot learn, it's that the teacher cannot teach. Donna, that is profound.
And we've got to teach our children well.
Mm-hmm. The father's Kool-Aid with a big-ass taint learned. Every time I just, no kids are in the caravan. Imagine hearing, "Are we there yet?" for 2,000 miles on foot.
I've driven across, well, not on foot. Okay.
On foot. Polish-American Jackhole learned Doc is a conspiracy theorist.
Yes, you're right. Oh, my gosh, I really am.
Yeah, so many words, though. So many words.
What's Stephen F. Fox's Twitter?
Did you
tweet it?
I think it's Stephen F. Fox, isn't it?
I got to find it.
I don't know. What do you ask me these questions? Do you think I'm supposed to know these things?
I should have listened to what he said.
You really should have. It would have been
Start listening to interviews.
But his website is stephenffox.com, which is ironic that he had that URL given.
I'll have to tweet that. I was going to retweet him, but I can't find it, and I'm just so lazy.
Maybe it's on his website. You might want to check the website. I mean, he may have one of those little linky things that some people put on their website. Let's see. Black Suit Lucky Farkin learned, what do you get when you mix nuts and candy corn? The nuttiest bag of crap ever. That's not true. That is absolutely not true. If you mix peanuts with candy corn, you get good stuff.
Although I would just eat the peanuts. So
if you do, again, if you mix them both, it brings the candy corn up to the peanuts level. No,
okay,
I said peanuts level.
I know. I'm tweeting.
You're right in front of God and everybody.
I think I got it. StephenFFox.com. Boom, there it is.
That's what I said. It was StephenFFox.com. Russ over on MeWe said, hey, Brad Staggs, it's Odyssey1.com. That's Odyssey1, ODYSY1.com.
Did you get it wrong?
I may have, but I think he was just reinforcing it because they are, again, doing the War of the Worlds, and I believe that is, again, tonight at 8 o'clock. We're going to be redoing the War of the Worlds. Tara said, I see boob now, not a bell. Okay. I have no idea what that meant, but I saw the word boob, and I was drawn to it like a moth to a flame. Our architecturalist at 3D Pixel Pro over on MeWe, pens of color. Mojo listeners do not see color. We are radio peeps. We only hear. Yes.
It's nice to hear because I myself have transcended race.
Have you?
Yes, I've transcended the entire thing. I've moved beyond it.
You're flying.
If it were not for these people, I keep trying to get out. They keep pulling me back in. I have transcended race. I would fully transcend it, but they're like weights around my ankles. I'm trying to fly. I am trying to soar with non-racist angels, and they will not let me.
And finally, Nancy Keller over on Facebook says, great show, guys. It's pretty early here in Washington State. Can I watch your show later on your website? Nancy, you can watch it. You can listen to it. You can tweet it. You can Facebook it. You can MeWe it. If you go to the website.
Go to the website. Find out all the places we're located. It's mojo50.com. But we do have a YouTube account where you can watch it later on.
The YouTubes are all archived on the website.
Excellent.
There you go.
Don't forget to donate if you can to our website or to our GoFundMe page. Hey, I didn't get to the new numbers of procrastination. I'll get to them tomorrow. What else do we have coming up?
Oh, man.
Sounds great. What does Matt Locke have coming up?
Oh,
sounds fantastic.
Yes, absolutely.
Remember, your Daily Mojo is today a Ron
Phillips
regular production.
Ron Phillips, you had it.
It's like the screwdriver.
Yes.
It's a regular head.
No, that's a slot head. He's Phillips. He's Ron Phillips.
That's one of those.
Yes, whatever.
Production, Six Semper Tyrannis. Good night, Steve Cannon. Wherever you are. Anya, now you go home.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
It's not Ron Slothead. It's not Ron Wonky Eye. It's Ron Phillips.
A few more tests.
Yeah.
This is the seditious,